glitter hearts touch the ocean. We're playing mermaids. I'm very excited. I'm here with a group of other people who are also very excited. We've been talking about it a lot already, and we're excited to share it all with you. A few things to let you know just as we start. We're going to go for about 3 hours today. We are playing Glitter Hearts, which is by Greg Leatherman, or White Wing on Twitter. I think there might be something happening with that. I've immediately forgotten what it was that we're doing with Greg, but I'm sure our lovely producer will pop it in the chat for us. A few little, before we get started, also just a few little warnings of the content coming up. So we're playing Magical Mermaids. It's going to be fun, action-filled. We're going to be doing about a PG-13 sort of level of content, but do be aware, as we're playing mermaids, we will be mentioning deep water, marine life, and possible danger to marine life, maybe sharks and swimming. So if any of those things, if you get a bit of thalassophobia, just do keep that in mind and take a break if you need to. With that in mind, I think that's everything I have to go over at the start. So I would love our lovely cast to introduce themselves. So I'll go around on my screen. I'd love you to tell me who you are and your pronouns, and then tell us your everyday character, not your mermaid character yet, and describe your everyday character, just a little tiny bit about them, 1 or 2 sentences, and their pronouns as well. So I'm going to go in my view, which I've got Caroline up top.
Nice. Hi, everyone. My name is Caroline Orejuela. My pronouns are she, they. Yeah, that's me. I'm a voice actress and content creator. And then my character is Sadie Cabrera, who uses she, her pronouns. And Sadie is a ballerina. And so she is a transfer student in England to get better at her ballet. And she's quite tomboyish, sort of like, you know, grungy, chill vibes. Yeah. That's Sadie. I'm so excited.
Awesome. Yay! Up next, I've got Hector. Hector,
Hello.
tell us about you and your character.
Hi, my name is Hector Manuel Reyes. My pronouns are he, they, and I'm going to be playing. Connor O'Shea, who is a transfer student from South Ireland and has a mysterious magical past. He's a counselor. He, does youth counseling and is always there for other people, and just thin and beautiful, and sings in choir.
Wonderful. Next, I've got Anya.
Yeah, hi, I'm Anya, pronouns she, her. I'm going to be playing Maya Cantor, also she, her, who is a little bit of a dreamer and used to be in the swim club until shenanigans happened and can't be in the swim club anymore. And there's some interesting things with that. We'll leave it at that for now.
Excellent. And last but by no means least, Casa.
Hi, I'm Casa. I just love TTRPG, so here I am. My character, I'm she, her. My character's name is Maeve Collins, also she, her. She's just her best friend's her dad. That kind of just says that about her. She spends her time fixing up cars and motorcycles, and she's just a bit of a loner. So yeah, it'll be fun to see how she interacts with this group of really cool people.
Exciting. Okay, so I think we should dive right into it. Sorry, that is probably the last intentional one I'll do. Yeah, wave, edit, cut. Imagine every time we change scenes, imagine a glittering wave goes across the screen as a splash edit. So our lovely mermaid teams are all living in lovely, currently reasonably sunny, little bit of drizzle south of England in a sunny seaside town. I've made up a name so as not to get all of the people in Cornwall angry at me, of the town of Colmanus, which is a mishmash of many different names and therefore doesn't exist. But this is a lovely touristy town centered around the Bay of Manath, along the River Manor. And there's all sorts of things to do in the town, but most of it revolves around the beach, such as the beautiful pier. There is a big castle up on the rocks that's crumbling down, but English Heritage have started doing tours, of course. And of course, the chip shop that poodles along every day. And everyone at the sixth form college that our lovely characters go to rushes out to buy chips at lunchtime. But it's not school today, because today is a bank holiday, aka a day off for everyone. May bank holiday time, yes. And so most of you, I think, have heard that, of course, on a bank holiday, the pier, where there are all the arcades and the fun fair and the helter skelter and the chip van and the ice cream shop, all open up ready for all of the tourists and townspeople to pour on in for a day at the beach. So I think what I would love to do is do a little like cut scene with each of you to see, you know, what are you doing on this Maybank holiday morning, and are you planning to go to the pier? And yeah, where are you gonna, or I should say, where are you going to meet up? Because I think everyone heads down to the pier on such a lovely sunny day. So I'll go again in order. So Caroline, tell us about Sadie. Where does Sadie live, and what's Sadie's morning routine? And we may combine that with Maeve getting up as well.
Nice.
But you go first, and let us know.
Well, Sadie is currently living with Maeve and her father right now, because I'm a transfer student, and so I've been placed in her home during this time. And so Sadie is very much a like get up and get going kind of gal. She has her morning routine where she like does her stretching, because for ballet that's very important. She's like does her stretching,
Of course.
and then takes a shower. It's very like routine, and it's down to the minute, you know, just like very, you know, kind of type A, very organized, very planned out. And it might involve, you know, seeing Maeve and seeing her dad around. So yeah. And definitely going to the pier, because I'm new and I want to experience all of the stuff that's going on and everything. So yeah.
So I guess some of the question, Maeve, hearing Sadie's warm-up jumps early in the morning, what's Maeve's morning routine like?
She's still in bed, honestly. Like, she's kind of tired of Sadie always getting up so early, and her dad's also just a little bit like of a morning person, but she takes her time getting up. So but when she hears it, she just kind of rolls over in her bed and puts the pillows over her ears and just tries to get some more sleep, because it's a holiday. She's not gonna get up early. So.
And Maeve, Casa, did you tell me Maeve's dad's name? I can't remember.
I was just gonna type that, but her dad's name is Gareth. A lot of the most
Gareth.
British. So yeah.
Gaza. Cool. I feel like Gareth also like therefore gets up a little earlier and is like cooking breakfast for you both.
And
morning Sadie, morning.
It kind of annoys Maeve a little bit that she and her dad, Sadie and her dad, are like morning people, so they have like that extra time. Yeah. But she's just too tired, and she's
you're starting to get the smells of breakfast under your door, but it's like, oh, not yet. Yeah. Meanwhile, let's see, what is Maya up to this fine sunny morning?
Maya is up bright and early in the garden, hanging out with probably both of her parents, just curled up in a chair in the garden, reading a book and drinking coffee that she probably shouldn't be drinking coffee as a teenager, but you know what? It's fine. It doesn't stunt your growth that much. It's fine. Just nice, calm morning, just hanging out, reading a good book. Excellent. One of her many folktale, fairy tale books, because she's constantly reading.
Yeah.
What creature or folklore tale are you up to today?
I feel like she's currently reading about Kelpies, because that's the first one that came to mind.
Of course. Kelpies being the horses that live in lakes and
like to drown people.
Yes.
I like to drown people. We're only trying to drown her. Okay, and what is Connor getting up to bright and early on
I
his day
think
off?
Connor is going to be on the edge of PG-13 and fan service, and it's going to be, we see him wearing a towel, shirtless. His hair's a bit damp. He has a swimmer's build, even though he's not on the swim team. And then he has his phone in his hand, and he's in the group chat, messaging
Yes, of course.
everyone, especially Maeve. There's actually a separate personal message for Maeve. The group chat says, hey, meet you all at the ice cream stand at noon. With like a smiley face, a mermaid, a seal, and like and then he sends like a gif of like a bunch of from like Booksmart of like all of the teenagers in the hallway like celebrating because there's no school and they're in the hallways and like cheering. And then the message to Maeve is, come on, get up. I'll teach you some new warm-ups, vocal warm-ups today. I promise. Please, please, please wake up, eat some food. Because Sadie's my best friend, so I know they're going to be up. And Maya, I know, is like me and loves their parents and is going to be spending morning time with them. But Maeve is going to be sleeping in, and I don't have time for that. We have a beach day to enjoy.
Plans.
I have plans. And then the rest of the montage is him like putting on like churches on his computer and like, getting dressed and then going and kissing Fiona, his adopted mom, like on the cheek in the kitchen while grabbing a spot of tea and putting a lot of cream and sugar in it, and just enjoying morning breakfast with his parents before rushing out to before they drive him down to the pier. So we're gonna probably spend family time like the first couple of hours like as a family, and then at noon it's friend time, and my parents respect that.
Yes. I should say, for any people who haven't been to a lot of UK like beaches before, a lot of the towns are very like this shape. So you'll get like the beach and then big hills because like there'll be like cliffs on either side, which I think is kind of what Paul Manath is like as well. So a lot of you will live on like for example, the college is on a pretty steep hill on one side of the bay, and then there's lots of little houses and shops that go quite down these steep hills and things. So yes, driving is a good idea, or skating and things like that as well. Now, this could be a good place for our first role. So we have a move called Convince Someone, which can be done amongst our heroes. But with heroes, the way it works, so normally when you're convincing someone, you roll individually with your emotional stat, and it's you just see if it succeeds or not. But when you do it with another hero, they can decide if they do it or not. But depending on how you roll, depends on what sort of offer they get for taking or not taking the suggestion. So perhaps I would suggest, with Connor doing this little text telling Maeve to, come on, get up, come meet us on time. Do you want to do a little?
Yeah. What we're gonna do? Here we go.
It's 2, rolling with plus emotional.
Yes, plus emotional. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. I rolled a 4 and a 2.
So a 6.
And then I add my emotional, which is plus 2. So I got an 8.
An 8. So that is a mixed success. So for another magical hero, 7 to 9, they get 1 XP if they do what you ask. So Cassie, you can choose if May does it or not, but if you do it, you get an XP, which goes towards leveling up and things later.
I think Maeve will look at it, kind of put it away, and then, weigh out the options in her head, and she's like, oh, but by then, I don't think she can go back to sleep. So she's just gonna slowly get up and be like, oh, Connor, no words, because she just can't speak, because it's just too early. But yeah, she's gonna start getting dressed and get some coffee.
Cool. So you got 1 XP for your use at your leisure. Gareth saved you a plate of something nice. And yeah, everyone, you've got your little. Any other messages going in the group chat? Any more emojis being flung about? Any plans for the day at the pier?
I'm just trying to think. I know that Maya is absolutely going to be riding her lime green bicycle down to the pier. It doesn't have the tassels on it because she removed them.
I'm gonna send like a video message and to the group chat, and I'm just gonna be like, so I'm in the call right now. I'm gonna be spending the first couple hours doing family time with mom and dad, but noon ice cream. We're gonna have a great day. I love you guys. And then it just cuts out.
And I think
you can hear the car kind of in the background, and maybe there's some like Brit pop, maybe Duffy or Adele playing on the radio, because that's like what my parents like to listen to, so I also listen to it. And
excellent.
Yeah. And then I was going to say, I probably text in the group chat once I see Maeve enter the kitchen, like to get coffee in her like grumbling stupor, and just being like, oh, look who decided to finally show up, you know? And then maybe with like a silly little picture of like Maeve.
What up, Sadie?
that expression.
Maya downloads the picture and just draws with her finger little squiggles all over, like giving like little like the eye covering and things like that, just all bright colors, and sends it back.
And I'm not looking at any of these pictures.
No, none of it.
So
right. Love.
Okay, so you all finish getting ready. Those of you spending parent and quality time with the parents, go off and do that. The rest of you gather yourselves together and have a lovely morning and head towards the pier around noon to meet up. So sort of things that you can see along the pier. You've obviously got big wide bay, beautiful beach. There's sort of sand, sort of rocky bits at the top, but then it goes into nice sand. You can see the lifeguard hut. And then the lifeguard stand at the other end of the beach, currently manned by who did I say my lifeguard was? Check. Currently Ali is on the lifeguard stand. I've been asked for handsome lifeguards, so Ali is sort of mid-brown skin, like nice floppy black hair, and he's got his nice little red t-shirt on, and he's got his sunnies on, bright yellow sunglasses that he probably got free from somewhere.
Honestly, yeah.
And there's some little kids paddling in the water. Some surfers are out, and you can see at the edge of the bay there's the buoys that mark or buoys for Americans, the buoys that mark the edge of the bay, and beyond that there's like some little sailing boats out as well, because it's a nice day. And the pier is already absolutely packed. At noon, it's full of people. There's people from town, but also a lot of tourists come to this area to enjoy the seaside. And you can see, everyone is busy eating their ice creams, drinking their little slushies, and crowding around the various hot dog and churro and fish and chip vans, scurrying into the arcade and things, and just generally having a very nice time. And you can see behind the pier, there's the other side of the bay which goes up to the high castle on the hill behind it as well. What's your sort of first? What would you say is your first stop off place when you're coming to the pier for a day out?
Connor is going to go to the ice cream place to meet everyone, and is wearing some board shorts and comfortable slip-on shoes, and a little button-up short sleeve shirt with a t-shirt underneath that has a cool it's like a tea turtle shirt, but it has like a seal on it with big eyes, like looking out of the
Oh,
water.
cute.
And then, you know, just kind of like a over shirt, and then his hair is just kind of up in a ponytail. And he's got yeah, and he's got like a little like necklace similar to this with like a little turtle on it.
Oh, a little sea turtle.
Little sea turtle. Not this exact necklace. This one's from Puerto Rico, but he's got one that's
Something like that.
Maybe a little bit more
Very
like
cute.
this, because this is more of an African style.
Mhm.
So maybe he got this from like a local immigrant family from Africa that runs like a little booth, and he was like, I like that. I like turtles.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, maybe they probably have their booth a little like a stand on the pier today as well. And there's also more along like the boardwalk as well that leads onto the pier. You know, it's super busy. Everyone is out.
And he's just looking
Anya
around for everybody else.
Yeah. Do we see Maya on her lime green bike?
On her lime green bike, she is wearing one of those sundresses that has like the bows on the shoulders and like strappy sandals and everything, and she's just biking along, and she has a what's it called, a side bag, messenger bag.
Satchel? Oh yeah,
satchel, yes, that that has several books in it, because you should never be without a book. Of course. And immediately beelines for the ice cream stand, and she does that fancy thing that I can't do, where you, as you are biking, you swing your leg around as it's moving to get off.
Yes.
I don't understand it, but she does that. And just scoots right on up and is waiting for her soft serve with the flake in it.
That's nice.
Yes.
And does Maeve already have a car or a motorbike, or is it still being tuned up?
No, she's got a bike that her dad really gave her when she got her license. It's just something very simple, but she's been working on it at the garage. So she's got some cargo pants on, a bomber jacket, and a baseball cap, and she's waiting at the door with the keys. Sadie, hurry up. Are you ready to go?
I've got everything. I've just got to make sure that I have everything. Got my phone keys.
You
wallet.
just said you have everything.
Okay, we can go.
I believe you.
It's fine. I just are you sure we can't walk there?
We're already late. Like,
okay, fine. Do you have an extra helmet?
Yeah. Of course.
Okay.
I give her mine.
What are you gonna wear?
Gareth sees you at the window and is like,
This is the extra
Maeve?
helmet. It's the only helmet.
Are you gonna be okay?
I'll be fine. Just, you know,
Okay.
better me than you, right? Let's go.
Okay, and then Sadie like tugs that helmet on and make sure it is secure and fitting correctly and is gonna be safe, and then reluctantly gets on the bike. And
I feel like it's one of those like, you can't get very strong bikes when you're like a teen, so it's only like down the cobbles.
But that's why, like, Maeve probably, she'd think that it's not fast enough to really.
Yeah, it's barely
hurt anyone.
roadworthy.
right.
It's almost slow enough to go on the pavement.
Yeah.
Okay, wear helmets at home, children.
Don't be like me.
Especially even when you're
don't be like
biking.
me.
Don't be like Maeve.
Wear a helmet.
Wear a helmet always.
Okay. So yeah, you grab your ice creams, you're enjoying the sun. You notice, despite it being pretty busy, it's actually pretty clean and tidy today, which is nice. Like, often when the tourists come, there's quite a lot of rubbish left behind, but everyone seems to be keeping, nice and clean today. And you do actually see there are some of the local Sea Life Centre, like some of the workers, and they've got like a little stand and they're giving out like leaflets and things, and they're also giving out like little like metal straws and things to like try and encourage people to tidy up. And you can see people around them are like, oh yeah, we should actually do that and not just throw it on the ground. And you can see actually there's a boy from your class there, Will, who does a bit of work at the Sea Life Centre, is also giving out the leaflets, and he like waves at you and is like, hi guys, do you want a metal straw? Or we have these new bags that are also a they're supposed to like biodegrade super quickly. So if you have any rubbish, you can put them away. Save the turtles. And he like gives you a lot. He presses a flyer into all of your hands. And then,
Yeah, I take flyer and I take a straw and
a green straw or a blue straw. Green is for turtle and blue is for sea.
Oh, can I have both?
Yes, obviously.
Thank you.
You're welcome. He's having a great time. He's got his little Sea Life Centre t-shirt on, and he's just like, yeah. He's in his element.
I think that Sadie has sort of the like vibe of like kind of like, are we really sure that just eliminating straws is going to make that big of a difference? But I think we just need to pick at the corporations. That's what we really need to be doing.
Yes.
You know.
Sadie.
Does Sadie say that?
Yes.
Sadie. No.
Well, Will like flips over and he's like, I totally agree with you, Sadie. That's such a great point. And he's like, luckily, I've already convinced my mum. Her company's actually sponsoring Sea Life to help us give out these today. So you're right on the money, Sadie. Thank you so much for mentioning that. That's on the back of the flyer. We didn't have room to put it all on one side because there was a lot of writing. I wrote some of it. Anyway.
Thank you so much. I'm going to put this in my Google Calendar on my phone and I will be there.
Sadie, could you share that information, the meeting information?
Oh, yes, everyone. There's going to
I just take my phone and put it on and like, you know.
It like shares it.
I love
it's not like a meeting, it's just like a little sponsor logo by the company, it's called Hanover Corporation. And it's just like sponsored by like sponsor SeaWorld. Or sponsor Sea Life Centre or whatever. Yeah.
It's just like click and.
But there's like a Facebook page as well, so you can share that.
I'm gonna have to take a look at that. I was gonna say, Sadie, we're not in the United States. We're not in California. We're not doing the straw thing just to cover up a different problem. This is just something we're voluntarily asking people to do to make things better, as opposed to, I don't know what it is they do overseas. It's all.
That's true. I mean,
you downloaded so much information into my brain about the ridiculousness of the United States that I have to remind you sometimes.
Right. No, you're Connor, you're absolutely right. I think that the United States has really jaded me, and I'm very grateful that these people actually want to make a difference and are not simply trying to cover up their own irresponsibilities. Thank you for reminding me. You're right. There are good people doing good things in this world.
I know. I mean, I could be wrong. You know, I'm not really from here. I'm from South Island, but I mean, of course, me being Irish, giving the British the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, let's move on. More ice cream, anyone?
During this whole conversation,
he starts to feel like a little flustered and nervous, and he starts like flushing because he just realizes he might have inadvertently insulted his other two friends.
During this whole conversation, Maya has already gone over and gotten a smoothie and used the new straw to drink the smoothie.
Yes, and you realize, of course, with a metal straw, it's less likely for any spillage of these drinks to happen, which how useful for you for no reason.
Yeah, very useful.
It presses one into your hand as well, Maeve. Again, little straws and leaflets and things. And yeah, you can see there's just a bit of information like, oh, next week there's going to be an otter viewing and things like that. Sea otter viewing at the Sea Life Centre and things like that.
Yeah.
I can see that actually like what?
I'm trying to figure out what
I thought you meant auto as an autobus as opposed to otter like the sea animal. Well, I was trying to figure out.
Fair dues.
Connor will be very excited about that. Oh, otters. They can see my cousin.
Everyone loves otters.
Yes.
Speaking of spilled drinks, as you're all taking your straws and grabbing little slushies and things, you see a small child running, unaccompanied, holding Diet Coke. Full tilts, its eyes fixed on a balloon, and it's wearing flip-flops which look much too unsturdy for its feet. And the child starts to run towards you, drink out in front, and is gonna.
Whose kid is this? Maeve
there's
shouts.
a mum totally absorbed in looking at oh, look, a seagull, and the child is running away. And yeah, it's gonna start to fall and trip with a drink towards you all. So what I'd love you to do. What would you do when you see this child suddenly start tripping and you can see this liquid starting to spray towards you? I think particularly towards, I think Sadie and Connor, who are deep in the conversation. So you turn to see this small child like, what?
Oh my gosh. I am going to attempt to thwart peril and grab Sadie and move away, like out of the line of the child spilling the soda.
Yes, you're just trying to jump out the way.
Yeah,
cool.
like even if
Okay,
we
so
get
yes,
bumped,
thwart peril.
bruised, or scraped, it's better than getting splashed by that soda.
Correct.
Yes. So for our audience,
Okay.
thwart peril is acting despite immediate physical danger and trying to do something with physical. So yeah, you're rolling 2d6 plus physical.
Yeah, I'm
and
very
perhaps
bad at
Sadie
this.
will
I have a
help if
minus.
needed.
Yes, Sadie, is there any help you can offer? Because I have a -1 at this. As I throw my dangly form.
I have just regular physical. Let me
Which is better
think.
than
Let me
me.
think. I don't think there is much I can do to help you. I was gonna, I think that's all I can do for you.
It's all good. Here we go. Let the dice tell a story. Okay, I rolled a 4 and a 2, -1. That's a 5. Give me my
That's a failure that
XP.
can't even be corrected with a "we can do this together," which would help you
Nope.
bump it up. So, bad stuff is going to happen. But I think Sadie, you can kind of. I think maybe how it goes, Connor, if you have you focus so much on trying to get Sadie with you out the way that you just have accidentally just completely stood in the path, and this small toddler just goes and drenches you knee to toe, not a very tall child, in Coca-Cola. And you're a bit damp. Oh no, the clock is ticking. What do you do?
Okay, wait. I think
yeah.
because I've been saved, I then, because we're at the beach, so I've got my swimsuit on underneath. It's like a one-piece athletic swimsuit, and then Sadie's got a tank top over it, and she takes off her tank top and then sops up the spillage on Connor. Connor's.
Okay. I would like you to do a keep your wits about you, which is acting despite imminent disappointment, betrayal, mental stress, or great setback. Because I think if you fail at this, it means not only has Connor not gotten dry, but has failed to run away in a timely manner. Is going to have to do something like jump in the sea immediately to avoid deception.
Also, just for flavor, I think Maeve's just got a towel out in her hand.
But just holding it.
She's
holding
got
it.
stuff, right?
Just holding it.
Sadie was like,
Sadie
drama.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm rolling.
I'm imagining as you're rolling, I'm imagining you're standing sort of halfway down the pier as well, by the way. So there is water around you on either side.
Okay, cool. So
Okay,
running through the valley.
I rolled a 10.
Yay! 10 plus you do
plus
what you set out to
1.
do. Excellent.
So 11.
11. Brilliant. Okay, well, in that case, no jumping in needed. Yeah, I feel in a practice motion, perhaps, you very quickly. Oh, yeah, you're wearing shorts. So, yeah, maybe just carefully, quickly wipes down the shorts. It luckily hasn't got on your shorts too much.
Yeah, and maybe just one fluid movement. I could just throw off the shirt. It could be like a running gag and just
Yeah.
and then
you
pat
feel
the shorts.
You feel like the itch of scales that were, the itch of flippers that were about to grow suddenly reside as you very quickly manage to dry off just in the nick of time.
Okay, let me just.
But Will is looking at you all a little weirdly, like it's just a bit of drink.
It gets. Do you know how sticky soda gets?
I suppose.
Yes, just.
Maeve just tells Will to go mind his own business. Just don't you have work to do or something?
I do. Yes, I do have more flyers to do. Thank you for reminding me, Maeve. I'll be off now. He seems very keen, and he goes off towards some of the people and starts flying.
Bye, Will.
Bye.
Well, I guess I gotta buy a new shirt.
Well, there are a ton of gift shops around here. I'm sure you could find something for pretty cheap, but it might look a little bit tacky because, it is from a tourist shop.
That's true. Well, as long as it has a seal on it.
I'd be down to go shopping with you.
Immediately.
I'm literally just
I love it.
Googling tacky ocean pier shirts, and
Are you ready?
you know the classic like tie-dye
Tie-dye,
blue with
Yeah.
like the giant
Yeah.
giant paintings of
Green, but
like
it's three
turtles.
curtains.
Yes. So I think what Connor's gonna do is he's gonna take his slightly damp shirt, wring it out a little bit, and then like just tuck it in his back pocket. And then I guess if everyone's okay with it, shopping montage with shirtless Connor until we get like this like ridiculous touristy like sea turtle shirt.
The Lizzie McGuire's movie song "Hey Now, Hey Now" is playing in the background as you go along, finishing off your ice creams and find a beautiful new shirt. And spend a little bit of time drying off in the sun along this pier. What sort of shirt do you find? I think we have options of tie-dye seal. There's also a plain one with a seal, but it says seal of approval.
Yes.
And
No, but Connor, you need to buy this one.
The seal
Absolutely
of
need that
approval.
100%.
It's a seal with a thumbs up, kind of like.
Yeah, the seal is
like a flipper up.
Yeah. All right.
Correct.
I'll purchase this one. And he goes out and he pulls out some, pounds and pays for it.
Some pounds.
Somehow that is the currency, yes.
Yes.
That is legal tender, yes.
The
Yes, legal
Americans in
tender.
this game.
He pulls out some seashells. Will you take these in exchange?
No. That's what parents are for.
Before.
I imagine that happened at his first fair. I have
Yeah,
some lovely shells from the bosom of the ocean. And his parents were like, no. That's not how that works.
That's not money, hun.
As you're heading out, having bedecked yourself in new clothes, I think Maeve, maybe you hear the dulcet tones of the Match of the Day soundtrack played over a tinkling noise of the chip van. And the chip van has its own jingle alongside the ice cream van, and you can see that Anthony's chip van is parked at the end of the pier today, and is giving out pasties and things.
Some actual food.
Anyone hungry? Let's
Yeah,
get some
I
food.
could eat.
Let's get some actual food.
Probably a good
Shopping
idea.
Shopping makes me hungry.
Everything.
Everything makes you hungry, Connor.
Well,
We say that at the same time.
Yeah. Little high five. Yeah. But as you do get a bit closer, you actually see that that was the last round of the jingle, and you can see that Anthony, who owns the chip shop, is actually closing up the shutters, which is a bit surprising because normally he goes all day on these sorts of things, but he's hastily writing a little sign that says "Sorry, no more chips today," and attaching it to the screen.
Oh.
But he's still there.
He's just
still
finishing
there?
putting that up. Yeah.
I'm gonna jog over. Anthony, is everything all right? Did we actually run out?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm really sorry, you guys. Yeah, we actually ran out of supplies a bit early today. I don't know why. We've run out of oil, which I'm sure I just got a new shipment in really recently, but I guess we just were really going through it with everyone to like all the chips today. So I guess we miss out on the afternoon sales, but what can you do?
Right. May I kind of can I be vigilant? Because like we've done this
Sure,
before.
I would suggest you glimpse the truth rather than
Glimpse the
vigilant if
truth.
you want to
Okay.
be asking questions, because you're not in a dangerous situation right now.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna glimpse the truth, and just sort of kind of look around and see if there was any, I don't know, like mischievous spirits or anything that might have, clues to like where this oil might have gone.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, while you're rolling, so glimpse of truth for the audience, you're attempting to investigate a situation. So you're rolling, and depending on how you roll is how many of the questions from the list you can ask. So this is with plus mental.
Mental.
Anyone else can also be investigating things as well, but we'll see how you roll first.
Yes, I want
I
to
only
as
got
well.
5. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So on a 6 or lower, you uncover a dark truth about yourself, the situation, or another character. Connor,
You're
how does
allergic
it
to oil.
How does it feel being so hungry? You could just starve right now. Like, how is Connor
does it
when
feel?
he is hangry?
He's just like, my gosh, I can't. Who would have done this? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know it's not your fault.
And
I'm
she's like,
just
we didn't
very.
mean to run out.
I'm very hungry, and I feel like somebody, like, of course, my wild imagination is jumping to like strange conclusions. Someone's stolen the oil from you because I know you. You always keep things out, and he kind of starts spiraling.
Yeah.
Like he starts getting
Yeah.
like hangry.
And
Like
she's like, okay, and he like opens the little mini window, reaches through, and brings out like a lone like a little cheese and onion pasty, and he's like, this is the last one left, but you can have it. It's okay,
oh
Connor.
my gosh,
Please.
thank you
It's
so much.
okay,
And I
you're
go in and
almost
I just stuff like the equivalent of a $20 bill into the tip jar and just start eating it.
Oh, that's very kind of you. You didn't have to do that, but I
You're
appreciate
gonna
it.
have to do this.
Yeah. So meanwhile, while you're like,
Yeah.
Oh my
and you were
God.
saying Maya might look around as well. So you can see that there's like some
Yes.
bins behind the chip van and like the back of the chip van as well. Anthony and Connor are busy embracing about this pasty.
Yeah. I'm just scanning around the space and seeing if there are any clues about like trails of oil or anything like that, because oil's messy. So that's the kind of thing I'm going for.
Yeah, that sort of thing you're looking for. Cool.
Let's see. So that's a straight 9 because I have a 0 to add to that.
Cool. So you get to ask one question from the list of the glimpse of truth questions.
Let's see. These contacts are not being friendly to me right now. Things are blurry.
So there's what happened recently, might be useful. Or what is not what it appears to be.
I like that one. What here is not what it appears to be.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Anthony isn't
okay.
trying to hide anything. I feel like he genuinely is
No.
something happened to the oil.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm sure I stopped it, but yeah, it's like, I know it's gonna be so annoying at me later. Alicia's gonna be so annoying at me later. But yeah, as you're sort of like poking around, you're hearing Connor tearfully eat a pasty in the background. You notice that the bins are kind of like again, not as full as you'd expect, but there is a little bit of like oily residue on them. And yeah, it seems to have been sort of like emptied out of anything. What is here? What here is not what it appears to be. So yeah, as you kind of look in, you notice that there's like paper bags, there's like little plastic bottles and things, but there's no like fast food containers. Like anything that would have had like oil or grease on it seems to have been like taken out of the bin. And you can see little oil spatters that kind of go over to the edge of the pier under the railing and kind of down into the ocean below.
This Sadie says this looks like, or I guess I don't really perceive the things.
Oh
Maybe.
no, I point out everything while Connor's stuffing his face. I'm just like, okay, but look at this.
Maeve's giving
This
Connor a
seems
drink just so he doesn't
strange.
choke on anything.
love this.
I'm so hungry.
And then
Who knew shopping was so exhausting?
And then Sadie says, that's very interesting. It appears that something has been carrying all the oil containers into the ocean or something like that.
Question mark? Something like that.
That's my current theory, but I need more evidence to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, looking like over the side of the railing, like you can just kind of stare down. You can't see any like bobbing oil containers or anything, but you do see a little bit of oil scum on the surface of the water, just around the base of the pier, but not further out.
Think we should go underneath the pier to check?
I think we should probably go for a swim.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Anthony, hearing this, is like, you shouldn't swim just after you've eaten. It gives you cramp.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I should wait 30 minutes. I don't know
Yeah.
what.
I wouldn't want
Walk
you to get a
around.
cramp on my watch, is all I'm saying,
Yeah.
Connor, especially after you gave me that tip. So, anyway, I'm going to finish packing up. So you guys enjoy the day, and he goes back to putting up his little...
Oh, we got a hydrate and a posture check.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you, Nev.
Thanks.
That's my hydrate move, and also my water move, and also any other move that involves waves. Woo. So Anthony is busy bumbling around, putting away the rest of the stuff in the van. What do you want to do?
I guess once we get out of Anthony's line of sight, we'll find a little thing. Maybe be like, I mean, your stomach's okay, right, Connor? It's
No,
not
it'll
really
be
that big of a.
it'll
didn't
be
really
all
eat
right.
that
I can.
much.
No, I didn't eat that much, and also when I eat while swimming all the time. But Anthony doesn't know that, so.
I just had a thought, and sorry. So
Please, I love
mechanically,
random
no,
thoughts.
just mechanically, because I'm thinking in Tamara Pierce mode of like changing into an animal, clothes
Yes.
come off. Is this like the clothes just like are on
Yes,
our bodies and we're
this is
like
the H2O
Yeah.
version. They're going to go, and then when you're dry, they're going to go ba-ba, and be back. So
and they
yeah.
appear
Love.
cool. So we are
My
not Bella
theory-
Jane Sarahing this.
My theory is that they go inside the tail, and it's a hollow tail. But you know, it's just my hollow tail theory.
Interesting.
Okay, interesting.
Okay.
That's why mermaids are so much heavier than humans. Anyway,
Oh,
that's just my theory.
It's not all of the fat in the stuff. I don't know about fish. I'm allergic to them.
That's so ironic considering that we're in a mermaid game.
Mermaid.
So I'm imagining there's mention of water. Are you diving all in, beautifully synchronized? What's the plan?
Oh, I love
No,
that. I love that.
think- I think that Sadie is a little bit like still not 100% comfortable with the fact that this is something that she can do. And so there is like a little bit of like, I'm doing this, you know, because like my friends are all doing it, but there is some just like hesitation and discomfort, I think, with all of it. So,
Of course.
yeah.
And Maeve is kind of hiding her bag because she's always carrying a bag. So she's just putting it to the side and making sure it's not seen. And then I guess she sees Sadie kind of like, would she hesitate to go in or is she just going in?
She's hesitant.
Okay.
She's a little nervous.
I mean, if you don't want to, we don't have to.
No, I mean, going down there is going to be the only way to find out more information. So I think we have to go down there, but yeah, and I should go with you all. I think that's right. Yeah.
It's gonna be all right. Okay, like we've got this.
Okay.
And Maeve just walks in.
And then there's Maya just standing at the shore, just looking at it, looking off to the side, looking at the water. You've got this.
All right, just breathe. Remember.
Steps in.
All right. And then
Splash.
Connor just smiles and then whoop, dives into the water.
A beautiful dive.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I just like put my toe in and then transform and fall in.
Yeah.
into the water.
Excellent. Okay, I obviously require some transformation descriptions of you all as you turn into mermaids. So Maeve, you jumped in first. So Casa, tell us about Maeve. How does she transform? form? What is her mermaid name, and what does she look like? So,
Okay, so as she goes in, the bubbles kind of go around, kind of H2O like, and there's also a little bit of electricity here and there, some like sparkles and thing, because her fish is an electric eel, so she's
Sweet.
just kind of just it's a bunch of sparks and whatever, and then her tail is blue with like some silver like lightning things going around it.
awesome.
And yeah, she's wearing a blue like shell top, yes, and she's got long flowing hair that's also like dark blue, and it kind of just like shimmers when it's in the ocean. And her name in as a mermaid is Demetra. And yeah, she kind of just, as she's waiting for everyone, since she's the first one, she just kind of, plays with some fish and kind of just swims
Yeah.
around.
There's a few fish looking at you like, oh.
Yeah, I
Well,
just
they
blow a
fucking
bubble
you.
at them.
Excellent. And then Anya Maya did a little quick brave jump in.
She goes in, and immediately it's like black enveloping her.
Ooh.
And her fins spread out, and it's this very, very dark color, very much the opposite of her bright sunny sundress. And it has, hang on, I have to look at the picture. It's kind of like an iridescent blue and green, but very spiky. Think a beta fish. And as she looks around, she is kind of just like covering her mouth a little bit, her cheeks a little bit, and looking around. And her name is, as a mermaid, is Amaya, because the first time someone saw her transform, they went, "Ah, Maya!"
I still love that so much. So great.
Because as she pulls her hands down from her face and she like kind of smiles, you can see like her mouth is extremely wide and terrifying. And when it opens, it's just like way too large.
Ooh. Scary. Spooky.
And
Okay.
as I see Amaya, I'll like look at her for a while, but I'm not like scared, or I just think it's really metal. Like I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay, and then next up, Connor does a beautiful dive in. Oh, you're muted, I think.
Yes. All right. Sorry. I was trying to unmute myself when other people are doing their transformations just because I'm loud. So Connor like dives in, and as he dives in, his hair, the bubbles go by, his hair gets longer, the tail starts to appear, and the tail is very sleek and gray-ish. He has kind of like his like normally kind of like gangly shirtless form, which has a little bit of a swimmer's build, becomes a full like Olympic swimmer's like toned form. But it's all like how do I explain it? It's kind of like dolphins, where like it's all like one kind of, there's no nipples. It's just like,
Oh yeah.
it's just
All the
one
way up.
coat. It's all the way up, kind of a light, thin fur, of like a seal, but it's all kind of sleek.
Like a seal wetsuit.
Yeah, like a seal wetsuit, but it ends in a cool seal tail, and then he doesn't have whiskers. He just has a very beautiful, symmetrical face, but with the big, wide black seal eyes. And then his hair is long and wavy and like dark, like almost solid black, with bright seashells and pearls and maybe bits of seaweed that have been decoratively woven into the hair. Occasionally, you might see a single braid inside of the murky hair, like a wild braid. And then wrapped around his waist is this beautiful bright red sash that also has like pearls and shells kind of embroidered into it, and then a bunch of like zoomorphic embroidery of all of these different sea life. So there's like turtles and seals and fish and all kinds of things just sort of stitched, and it's reflected in the water because it's like a metal, almost like a metal
Sweet.
thread. So it doesn't lose any of its luster
Shimmers.
under the water. It's sparkly and shimmers. And maybe there's like echoing underwater is like some old traditional like Celtic music, you know, maybe like a little hammered dulcimer, a little flute that just sort of starts playing, you know, as he's like emerging as this full like prince essentially. And he's got the necklace. He has a beautiful necklace with a bunch of seashells and pearls and a little bit of driftwood, just kind of accentuating the top of the chest. And his name is Lauren, Prince Lauren, but he prefers just to go by Lauren.
Excellent. And finally, Sadie dips a toe in, and while transforming and falling into the water, what do we see?
Well, when Sadie transforms, it is perhaps maybe the opposite of her current personality that is quite trying to kind of keep a low profile, and it is like bright light, like a beacon of a lighthouse, like, you know, golden, this beautiful golden sparkly light. And then as she falls into the water, it like still is like coming out like from the, you know, from the top. But when Sadie transforms, her mermaid form is very different in appearance. So Sadie usually has like dark brown hair, it's short, and dresses in sort of just like clothes that she bought from the, you know, Southern Florida Target boys section, you know, just very plain, you know, gym shorts kind of vibes. And then as soon as she transforms, they change pronouns, and their name is Caspian, and Caspian has that long anime boy who has long beautiful hair with golden long earrings, 6-pack abs, flat chested, and a golden beautiful glittery seahorse tail, because the combo for Caspian is seahorse and human, and also is just quite confident and knows that they're beautiful in a lot of ways. So there is a little bit of that going on as well. Yes. So yeah,
Amazing.
that's
Yeah.
Casp.
Could we have like a almost like, you know, sometimes in Sailor Moon they'll do transformations where like the Outer Scouts used to do this, where like the two of them would do their final pose together. And I was wondering if Caspian and Connor could do a back-to-back like let's be mermaids. Like we don't say that out loud, but that's what the pose is like almost every time.
Yeah. Yes, I love it. Yeah.
And then I pretend to be taking pictures.
Yes. It's okay. We're workshopping the rest of the group, right? Because eventually we want to get it so that we're all posing.
Obviously.
But
you haven't quite finished making it yet, because you've only obviously been mermaid pals for a little bit of time. So you got the two-parter, but you still need to incorporate Amaya and Dimitra in as well.
Oh, and I should specify that transformed Amaya is she, they.
Yes, I am he, they. I become much more, you know.
Mine's super easy. Just the same.
Just the same.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
We're all enjoying our mermaid transformation.
So, yes, you've done your beautiful transformation from plop into the water. Barely a splash apart from Sadie turning into Caspian. Puts a bit of spray, given you're falling in sideways. And yeah, under the water you can see the wooden legs of the pier. Then there's lots of these big wooden supports, and then like crisscrossed as well. And you can see kind of in the water above, you can see the planks of the pier and all of the footfall of people going past, like sort of rippling in the surface as you look up through the water. And yeah, you can see that little, like, now above you, little spot of like oil scum looking now sort of like a rainbow in the light. And looking around, you can see where some of those oil cans and things went, there's a few like empty those, you know, you can get those like big plastic like oil bottles from the supermarket and stuff, and they're full of water now and sunken down to the bottom near the base of the wooden struts, as they've been emptied of their oil as well.
This seems odd. And as Amaya talks, her mouth goes wider than it should, and it's a little bit disconcerting to watch her talk.
This is odd. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna swim around the empty bottles, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and make another like little investigation roll.
For free, you all see also, as you're kind of looking around, you see further down as those struts go inland, you can see a few more little containers and things that have landed at the bottom on the sand as well.
Can we do this together thing and I give you extra? Is that how that works?
Yeah. Can I do glimpse of truth?
So
and then
for 2 heads are better than 1. So if we both
absolutely.
If you both have a look.
Let's do this.
So it doesn't actually before you roll, it doesn't actually say, I think, I can't remember if it says in the rules or not if you're supposed to do it like before or after, but I personally think it's more interesting if you like do it before, because obviously it's more of a like, you don't know if it's actually helping or not, but it makes sense. Does that sound? Are you happy with that? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So
All right.
So,
let me go ahead
it would be a
and roll.
action. I'll also allow it.
I think it's just. I have an idea. I know this sounds little crunchy. What if Maeve and I took the lead, and then Sadie and Amaya supported us, and we do 2 separate rolls? Or Philippa, would you prefer 1 roll?
Probably 1 is better. Also,
1 is better
for you.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Everybody.
But you can also then ask more questions about specific things as well. So Sadie and sorry, I should say your mermaid names, Caspian and Maya can help out.
Philippa, I have a logistical question for you.
Yes.
If we have like abilities within our everyday identities, do those roll over to one of your mermaids? Okay, great.
Yes. Okay, so you can always do your everyday ones, but you can't do your mermaid ones
unless you're a mermaid.
And same for your emotion, like your mystical powers as well. You have to be a mermaid for those. But the everyday ones you can do all the time. So were you gonna do something that helps there?
Well, it won't help you all. I'm sorry, but if Amaya and Caspian need to do something, I have something to help the 2 of us. So
great. Okay, cool. Roll away.
All right.
Roll away.
All right. Rolling. Here we go. Okay. I rolled a 6 and a 4.
10. Excellent.
Finally, I succeeded at something. No, it's great. I'm enjoying the XP. So I got a 10.
Plus mental.
Plus, which is 0. I'm proactive, but I'm not very smart.
Okay.
So how does the
so we can do this together.
We can do this together.
So you roll it with the thing that you're doing. So you're saying 2 heads are better than 1, which is mental. And you need to know what your relationship with Connor is.
Oh, it
is. Okay.
Which is
ours is cooperative.
Cooperative.
Yeah, cooperative.
Okay, so you roll, and then we see what the number is on the cooperative side of the table.
So my roll is based on that one. Okay, so mine is 9.
9.
So
okay,
my target
plus your mental as well if you've got mental
plus
stat.
Mental. Oh, too many things up at once.
Yeah, there's always lots of tabs for
a 0.
Okay, so on a 9, your target gets a +1 to their next roll, but you get a -1 to your next persona roll. And you also add Lorian gets a PowerPoint as well.
Oh.
So just a reminder, for those PowerPoints, you can spend them individually for certain things, like getting a +1 on a roll, or if you spend 2, you get advantage. But if you save them up to, there's 4 of you, so if you save up 5, you can do a team attack at some point. And if you get 6, you can do team attack with advantage. So keep track of your own, and then if you decide you want to do a team attack, you need to obviously like spend them all together.
Yeah,
got it.
So I will
so
also
you have 1. Remember that.
All right.
Okay, so on their next roll. So
Questions?
yeah, you can.
Oh, right.
I will say, because we're doing it before you roll. Sorry, this is the final bit of
Mhm.
mechanics logistics. If you want to have that +1 to their next roll, that could mean therefore the next time you roll, rather than adding it to this thing, or you can then choose it to apply to this thing. I think we'll say. I think that's the most interesting
Okay.
way to do things. And then Casa, remember you got -1 to your next persona roll whenever that comes up.
Yeah, I've written that down.
Okay. Persona or Maeve / Demetra. Okay, cool. So what we're doing, glimpsing the truth. Okay, so on a 10+, you can ask 3 questions all about this area. So I'll count anything in this area as swimming around the bay, looking at this pier, anything like that.
Okay. Let's see here. This is so weird. Okay. These are all really good questions. I'm gonna ask what sort of creature is this?
Yeah. You can also have me answer the question first and then ask the others, as long as you're in the same situation.
Oh, okay, okay. I would like to ask I'm gonna ask what I am gonna ask. I want to know what sort of creature it is.
Cool.
Like, do I see any kind of tracks or messing of the sediment at the bottom of the bay? Were there any markings on the
For sure.
on the pier? Like, I'm sort of drawing on my ancient knowledge of the sea to sort of figure out what we're dealing with.
Cool. Okay, so with Maeve's help as well, and I imagine everyone is swimming around a little bit and looking, but I think it's like Lorien and Demetra find this. You're kind of all looking around, and you see some, as you kind of explore the empty bottles on the sand. There's kind of like little sort of wiggly shapes, almost like slug-like, of quite a small, quite square sort of creature that seems to have been sort of wiggling around a little bit. Quite round and maybe squishy. And as you continue to kind of look around, you notice that there are another pool of oil at the top, sort of dripping, and behind one of the little pillars, I think Demetra and Lorien, you see just poking its head out from behind one of those pillars and swimming to grab a little bit of the oil. Is this sort of like beige, squishy, round shape, very squiggly and wibbly, even in the water, very buoyant as well. And it goes, and then it seems to sort of go, and expand a bit as it eats that oil, and then goes behind the pillar again.
Oh, okay.
You saw
yeah.
Can I?
I'm looking at these
experiencing deja vu.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that I have. It all fits together.
Oh, aha.
Oh.
I thought you were like, I'm finding out deja vu here.
I am experiencing deja vu.
Okay.
Can I please roll plus mystical?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
To see if I saw this in my dreams.
Oh, I see.
Nice.
Yes. It's one of your special moves.
Yeah. Do you want me to wait on my next 2 questions?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Unless you have one specifically want to ask.
Yeah.
I think let's do deja vu first, and then
let's do deja vu first, and then I'll ask the other 2 questions.
So
Kava.
Let's see. Uh-oh.
I think there's a bit of a little internet drop, but it should be okay on the layout. Hopefully, back in the mo. Okay. Hopefully, as we're back in the mo, we'll sort of do your roll, and we'll catch her up in a sec.
Thank goodness for my +2 in mystical. So that is a 9 total.
9. Okay. Can you tell me?
Yes.
Wonderful.
So on a 7 to 9,
hold
1.
Hold.
So choose from the following list to spend these holds, and then there's a list of 6 things.
Cool. So ask me one of those.
Yes. Let me look. I have zoomed in so much so that I'm able to read this. This is so sad. I feel old.
Figuring it out.
I would say the target loses something important, and I know where it is.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. Yep, got one for you. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, you think back to a dream that you had this morning as you were waking up. And just before you woke up, had this intense dream where you were not in the ocean, but in the estuary part of the river that feeds the bay.
Okay.
Swimming up the estuary, and you looked down and you saw in the sand a little business card for Rose's Cozy Cottage Cafe that had sort
Can
of
you
fallen
pull
out.
that?
Rosie's Cozy Cottage Cafe.
Okay.
It's a little cafe, tea house, sort of further back inland, at the sort of inland side of the town.
Interesting.
Okay.
So wait, I'm remembering something strange. Have you ever
Okay.
been to the cafe? Rosie's Cozy Cottage
Rosie's-
Cafe?
Rosie's Cozy.
There
Cafe.
it is. Yeah.
Rosie's Cozy
Hard to
Cottage
say.
Cafe.
She needs to
Oh.
I wrote that
rebrand,
down
but
and I
have
didn't
you
go and read it.
yes.
I thought
She
it was
really needs
fine.
to rebrand, but have you ever been there before?
I've been there. They have rather nice cakes.
Oh, yes, I have been there too. They have very good croissants.
Oh, Catherine.
Catherine,
just-
Maya,
Hello.
Maya laughs and it's like full mouth, like open this wide, closes it again.
Interesting. I'm going to jump off of that information and ask
Mhm.
what new and useful information can I gather? Like now knowing this weird deja vu thing, coupled with this weird little
Mhm.
oil-eating creature, like, but now knowing about this dream and the estuary
Yeah.
and the cozy cafe, like, what new and useful information can I gather?
Yes, sure. So yeah, sort of having that described, you can kind of poke your head around a little and you see this little blobby, sort of like basically a big blob of sort of various oils sort of encased in a little sort of bubble, with little tiny nubby legs and a little mouth.
Right.
I'm picturing
and
adipose from Doctor
very
Who.
much adipose, yes.
Okay.
However,
Okay.
now looking a bit closer, you can see it also has little bits of rubbish stuck into it. Like there's like a little tiny flag that's got stuck in one side, and some business cards and leaflets and things that it's obviously picked up as it's shuffled along the floor.
Oh, is
and
it the center? Are there any of the leaflets we just got from William in
Oh
there?
yeah, you can see it's got a straw in it. It's and as you're
Aw.
looking, actually, you do see the next column along also has a little blobby that has some different, it has other little bits of rubbish in as well. So that you can see there's at least two of them, and they're both just sort of watching the surface. And as bits of food and greasy churros and chips and things drop through from the tourists, they're going. And each time they do, they go. "Ooh, ooh," and they get a teensy bit bigger.
I'm going to ask them a question in character while also asking this question like above table,
For sure, yes.
which is who is in control here?
Oh,
Because from
interesting.
Connor's perspective, these little blobs are collecting all of the rubbish and they're keeping the bay clean.
They are.
I feel like they're working for somebody. And maybe that person has not done a very good job of telling them, like, of
Good
communicating. Because
Good question.
collecting the rubbish is one thing. Actually going onto the land and stealing oil so I can't eat my fish is another.
Yes. Yes. Well, in fact, as you see that, you see a third one on the other side is inching its way up the wood and has stuck to the underside of the wood and is trying to squeeze itself through one of the gaps.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Pardon me. Are you in charge?
Listening.
It's not listening. Who's in charge here? Who's in charge? I'm like looking around like, please.
Lauren, clearly it's me who's in charge here.
Oh, really?
Yes, obviously.
Oh my goodness. Is this revenge? Is this American revenge? Ooh, we're gonna colonize the UK. Do what you did to us.
Oh my god.
I've asked you before not to pull that
We're
card
just cackling
with
at
me.
this.
I'm just saying, like, we're both fabulous. We can both occupy space in the same places. We do it every single day, Cassie.
You're very right, Lauren. Quite right. Best
Yes,
chum.
of course I'm right. You know.
Amaya is going to try to gesture towards one of them, like black ichor hand, just like
Ooh, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna just like yes.
Yeah. So to answer your question, actually, as that's happening, yeah. So one of the nearest one is like, oh, and starts kind of coming towards you. But yeah, they don't seem to respond to you. They don't seem to speak, and they seem to be kind of doing their own thing. Although you do see one of them is kind of like getting bored of its spot and is like slowly like deflating itself to go towards the bottom, and then is going to trudge back like more towards the bay again, and like kind of towards the other side of the beach, which is where that estuary is, to kind of bring that information together for you. So whatever is they're coming from, it seems to be in that direction, just to finish the question info. But yeah, it blobs towards you. Yeah.
Can I flick it with my tail? Just spin around and back kick it.
How about we
somewhere.
do? I love that idea. Let's do the one coming towards the inky hand first, and then you can do a little flick if you fancy. So yeah, the one closest is like, ooh, black, maybe oil, beep, 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 and comes, sniffs at your hand, and then is going to try and bite at your hand.
Oh
With its little mouth.
no!
So if you want to, then
I'm gonna
if
try
Demetra
to
wants
like
do a little tail. You could
I
do.
just want to pat it on the head.
It's
and
very squishy. It kind of blobs down like. Boom, boom.
Does it seem to react at all to me doing that?
As you kind of do that, it's like, and then it goes to try and bite at your hand again. And this time it kind of like honk onto your finger. Just for, I don't think it even does one damage. It's just like,
and when it does that, I do like the full mouth, like kind of scream quietly at it because I don't want anyone to notice up above.
What are you trying to like get it to do anything in particular?
I'm just trying to get it to stop nomming on my finger.
Okay. It actually doesn't care. It's just like it doesn't seem to be particularly bothered by you going.
Okay.
Cassie, you were saying that maybe
Demetra?
Demetra might do something. Did you want to do anything?
I feel like it's dangling from my finger at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so to the one that's on Amaya, Demetra doesn't like when things mess with anyone, like any of her friends. So she's gonna try and like spin around and like back kick it with her tail.
Yes. Yeah. My question for you is: so there's a few different ways we could do this. Are you trying mostly to defend Amaya, or are you trying to mostly do damage to the creature? So that would depend if it was a protect someone or a clash. Okay, so this is protect someone, which is
that
with
would be
persona.
the one,
Oh, but don't forget you do have -1 to your persona roll from that.
Yes.
Check. Okay,
but I think I also have something. Let me try to find it.
Yeah, you probably
when I try to protect someone, I always get a +1 hold because I'm a
okay. So they cancel out.
protector.
+1 hold. Oh, on the
so even if I get low,
Okay, so you're rolling 2d6 plus persona.
Another 9.
A 9.
So a 9.
Okay.
And
on a 7 to 9, you choose one of those options on the list.
A +1 is but -1. Yeah. Okay, so but there's no attack to put the attacker.
So like redirect the attack itself.
Can I deal damage back to the attack? But there is no
it says to your physical rating, yeah.
No, the last one is deal damage to your
equal to your physical rating,
And my physical rating is +2.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Am I about to have a splash of oil all over me?
Oh no.
Quite possibly. So Demetra does a cool tail, and I think Amaya, you just feel like a weird as this thing gets like pulled off you and then spins away and goes into like these huge droplets of all of the droplets of like fat and oil that were inside of it kind of like dissolve out and then just start to like bob up to the surface. And after a moment, the second one is like, ooh,
oh no. I was picturing like they form into like miniature versions of the old one. No,
not that small. Not that small.
Okay. Well, that was interesting.
Amaya, how do you feel about this? Yeah.
Thanks. I think.
Oh yeah, I was thinking that too. Like just splits up into like.
Yeah. That's confusing, and based on that dream that I had last night, I think that we need to go to the cafe and see if maybe there's something there that's causing it.
Yes, perhaps it would be a good idea to investigate over there. Get some more clues, perhaps.
Okay. Sure.
I want to make sure that I'm reacting correctly to this. Okay.
But
just looking at our relationship status, and I'm just like, that's weird.
And then Dimitri kind of
true, but I hear you. However, I do think Sadie is someone who likes to have all the information. We both are.
No, but it's more like Amaya is just like, oh, that's uncomfortable. Oh, that's too much. Oh, why are they like this?
That's strong personality.
Yeah.
So you kind of can realize from the dream and where you can see this third little.
You just see Dimitri swimming around. She's just playing with the fish.
Yeah, there's some little fish around, but they're kind of keeping their distance from the little blobby things as well. But you can kind of see, that third little oil blob is like now trudging along the sea floor, kind of in the direction towards that estuary. Seems to be kind of like.
We're already transformed. Estuary first, then cafe. That way we don't have to dry off twice.
You also know the cafe is actually on the river.
Sounds good.
Oh, okay.
That works for me, I suppose.
If Caspian is sort of on the hunt for clues, now that not necessarily in immediate danger from the little oil blobs, but you could do a be vigilant here to kind of like assess some more about the situation, like sort of as you're swimming along the beach and up, kind of keeping an eye out.
Yes.
If you fancied.
I think I would fancy that. Thank you. Sure, let's do it. All right, I'm gonna roll, and I do believe I have +1 for mental, but let me check. 2. Right. Oh, yes. Okay, let's do it. +2 for the
+2. I thought you rolled a 2 then. I was like, oh no.
No. I have that is a hold on. 4 + 3, 7 + 2, 9. I rolled a 9.
Okay. On a 9, you can ask one of the questions.
Okay. Are there any dangers I haven't noticed?
Good question. As you're kind of like swimming, you're kind of you're all kind of following along after the little oily blob. But Caspian, you're kind of scouting a little, and you see ahead there is a oil drum that has like obviously rolled off from the lifeguard hut and fallen in. And just as you're kind of passing, you do see a little boo. And after a moment, you sort of pause and look in, and you can see that there is another oily blob in it, but this one fills up most of the barrel and seems a lot bigger. And as you're kind of swimming past, it does sort of start kind of like coming out to kind of investigate as you're coming past.
Okay.
So dangers unseen. Seems like there might be a few more of them around here, and some of them are a little bit bigger.
Yep.
All right, everybody. It looks like there are a lot of these little blobbies around here. Should we attack them?
I don't want them to explode and get oil everywhere. Let's continue
I would
onward.
not want to taint my hair. We definitely should move on. We can do more once we have more information.
You know that your hair just turns back when you transform, right? It's fine.
I couldn't dare to have my image tainted even for 1 second, Amaya. How dare you even imply it?
I mean, it's just maintaining the hair is incredibly important. But Caspian, you should be aware of the convenience of magic.
It's true.
Amaya has a valid point. You have to adjust to these things. Embrace all of the wonderful things that is being a child of the sea. As his accent just sort of goes from princely and back to just sort of the soft, folklorish lilt that he has when he's in his everyday form.
Nice.
I love just the image of Lorien and Caspian swimming sort of in sync, just
with our hair
we're the best. Yeah, we're the best. Ooh.
Yes. So I just sort of went along with everything. I was following along the shore as we're heading towards the estuary. I think that we should avoid those blobs unless we can find a way to talk to them, because they are cleaning the bay.
Yes, and I couldn't see a way to communicate with them personally.
I think we should find who's controlling them. Because while they might have good intentions, it's causing problems for all of us. I mean, there's so many people who want to eat.
Yeah. And I wanted a pasty and I didn't get one, so I agree with you.
Yes, I do agree. It is personal now.
So the estuary kind of goes into the sea just really wide, and but there's quite a bit of the river itself also joins, so you can kind of swim up, but you can kind of feel that change from seawater to fresh water feels a little different on your fins, and there are also some little boats and things parked along the estuary, which is currently the tide's quite high, so they're kind of floating, and yeah, you can see again there's a few little ones of these oil blobs clinging to the bottom of boats, and one's kind of scrabbling at the container of an oil canister, the fuel canister for one of the boats that's over the side, and is scrabbling at it, trying to get it open basically, and it's but yeah, they're kind of fixated on doing their own thing, trying to get whatever they can access to, mostly it seems at least for now. So you can sort of start winding your way up the estuary a little bit, and the way it kind of curves around most of the town, and the river goes up, and Rosie's cozy cottage cafe is kind of on that far bend of the estuary where it turns more sort of properly river-like, and there's starting to be some brick walls that kind of hold in the sides, so that little businesses and cafes and things can kind of come right up to the waterfront. I'm just gonna have to call.
Is there a place for us to hide, to dry off, and transform back?
A good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's some there's at various points there's steps up to the oh gosh, what's the name? The walkways above the river.
The boardwalk.
The boardwalk.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of go up little steps and things. Although, of course, you are mermaids, so you don't currently have legs.
No.
No.
I guess the question is, how do you climb up? How do you climb up?
Yeah. How do we hide to dry off and transform back?
Well, we could. I'm not beneath a butt scooch.
I would love to see that, Caspian. I would love to see that.
I do fear, though, that I may sit on my long, luscious locks, but I feel that it is a risk that I must take.
We could just chop those off for you.
Or I have a hairband.
Why?
Oh, Demetra, thank you. And then Caspian takes like their hair and is like, do you mind doing it in a braid for me, Demetra?
Sure.
Absolutely. I like sail back, and I'm just sort of like, being really supportive of Demetra, like it's just like music. It's a pattern. There's a rhythm to it. I love a good braid. It's always so kind. I've got a couple of Demetra braids myself, and I like point out at some braids, like maybe in past adventures, Demetra's also done like small braids in my wild hair,
No.
Yeah.
Demetra is a quality braider. Only the best for Caspian. So, now I'll take the braid and swing it over my shoulder and butt scooch my way up to the land.
What I would suggest is there's occasional people walking past, but there'll be like there'll be moments when there's like not like you'll be able to get out of the water in between people passing by. So do you think I'm gonna leave this up to you? Do you think this should be either thought peril to like pump those biceps, get you up those steps fast enough, or is it to be wits about you to not like get stressed and like sit on your hair a bit and be like, I would be happy for you to do either of those to try and like basically get out fast enough so that no one's gonna spot you. And I'll sort of like
definitely gonna do keep your wits about you, because Caspian nor Sadie are very physical at all. So I will do that. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's 6 + 1, 7.
7. Okay. On a 7 to 9, the GM will offer you a worse outcome, a hard choice, or an extra price to pay. Okay. Ooh.
That hair is gone.
That seems so mean to me straight away, but I was thinking a hard choice. Okay. I don't want to mess with Caspian's beautiful hair already. No. Okay.
It was a joke. It was a joke. I was kidding.
Oh, Maya, why
my
must
brain
you
was
be
going
so
there,
cruel to me?
Okay, a worse outcome. I think Caspian, they push up most of the way, but they're getting a little flustered on that last step, which is a little higher. And so I think the worst outcome is you get up the stairs, but then you kind of like roll your wrist a little bit, and you're going to take 1 harm. Just from like rolling your wrist on that last step, but you managed to get out. And I think we were saying like we've kind of got like mermaid mega dry on, so it doesn't take you very long to quickly like dry down enough to transform back, and therefore kind of help the others out as well. And you're a few doors down from Rosie's Cozy Cottage Cafe, and you can actually see sort of now you're dry and sort of able to peer over the edge. You can see a few more little. Now you spotted them. You can see these little blobs sort of like blobbing in the water, because again oil obviously is a bit lighter, so they're naturally kind of coming up to blob near these little boats and things. And you can see now that there's like buildings and stuff, any buildings that have like runoff or anything, any little pipes or things, they're also kind of like congregating around and like going blop, 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 blop. And you can see there's like 2 under a pipe kind of near Rosie's Cozy Cottage Cafe, and they're going, and at one point as they eat enough, they go, and they form into one larger one and then continue.
Okay, so now I'm Sadie, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're all back in our everyday.
Yeah.
I would suggest that might be a good place for us to take our break on a little bit of an exciting cliffhanger. So everyone watching, thank you for watching with us. We're going to have a sort of 10-minute break-ish, I think, is the idea. And then we'll be back. So in the meantime, we're going to go hydrate and so on. And please do the same. And we'll be back soon. Okay.
Bye.
some techigrams, but they are sorted now. And yeah, we should all be hopefully all working now. So thanks to our wonderful producer Sarah for helping us with that. Now, where were we? Oh yes, you had dried off and you were back in your everyday forms, no longer mermaids for now.
Okay.
And you had
Mhm.
seen a few of these little strange grease balls, sort of trying to gobble at little bits of grease all along the river and in the sea. And you had been led by, yes, I think in fact as you swam past, you did see that little business card that had fallen out one of them that you saw in your dream, Maya, which said Rosie's Cozy Cottage Cafe, which you're now standing in front of.
Yep, and I would have snatched that up as well as we
Yes,
went.
yeah. It's now quite greasy.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Philippa, what does the outside of the cafe look like?
Ooh, it is I think it's like white wood, like fronting, and then like it's got big windows and you can see inside. It's kind of like misted up a little, condensation-y, and there's lots of tourists inside, and it's all very like cutesy. It's like for sort of like a lot of walkers come here before they go off on their like little walks around the area. So everyone's having scones and afternoon tea and little sandwiches and cake. Very large
Ooh.
cakes.
Ooh,
That sounds so good right now. I have to wait until
I
1 p.m.
I
We could just
love
take a little
cake.
break, get a little cake, a milkshake.
I do love a good bit of cake.
I
Especially
suppose
with a.
it would be a good idea, maybe, so we look inconspicuous while we're looking for clues if we did get a little snack.
Sadie, you're bloody genius.
Thank
Let's
you.
do this.
Okay. We don't need to pat Sadie's back too much. Okay, let's just go.
Yeah.
Connor puts his arm around Maeve and says, Maeve, you're awesome too. And like, just
Maeve scoffs, but you can see a smile. Let's go. I'll get you a drink. You want hot chocolate? Does anyone want like a sundae?
Oh, a sundae. Oh no, we already had ice cream.
We already had ice cream.
Hot chocolate.
Uh,
Hot chocolate and cake, I think, would be amazing. Maybe we get some ice cream on the side of the cake, like as the door opens and the bell jingles. Like,
Yeah, you're all talking about that as you kind of head in. And,
all the ice cream.
Yeah.
You can
It's a hot
see
day.
that there's like the little display, like cake displays at the front of various different types, but there is a sign up saying sorry, no fried breakfast today.
This seems to be a very similar issue to what the fish and chip cart was experiencing. I'm wondering if it's probably related, right? That's the only thing that makes sense. I'll do an investigation, maybe, of this place.
Looking around.
Yeah.
How are you doing this? So presumably you're
glimpse
sort of
the
sitting, got your
truth.
cakes and
I don't know.
but describe
We
to
got
me
our
how
cakes.
you're.
Oh yes. Okay.
Oh
Sorry.
Describe to me how
yeah.
you're doing it.
So
Or
what I'm
if
doing,
Sadie's sort of having a poke
yeah,
around.
Sadie. Yeah, tell us how you do that, Sadie.
Yeah, so
I can help you.
I think I will probably get up from the table and just like pretend to not know where the bathroom is, for a little bit, and just kind of take a little walk around.
Yeah.
There's
a middle-aged lady who's like managing to say, oh, that way, dear, that way. But yeah, as you're kind of poking around, roll us a little glimpse of truth.
Okay.
With, mental.
All right, and I believe my mental is +2. So that's good because
And
I got a 5.
Before you, okay. 5 + 2 is 7. Okay,
7.
so it wouldn't help with we can do this together anyway. So that's
gotcha.
a 1. So you can help on that list. You can use any on that list. But just
okay. What new and useful information can I gather?
Sure. Okay, so you find your way to the bathroom, which conveniently there's a little storeroom with the door ajar along the way, so you can kind of just sneak your head in, and you can see that there's another sort of middle-aged lady sort of like scratching her head a little bit, and you can see that again all of the oil in the bottles of oil that were like laid out has just completely gone, and information. You can see that she's kind of like scratching her head a little bit at this and hasn't noticed that there is like a little trail of oil that leads from like the pantry area into the sink, and you can kind of hear a little like of something going down the drain pipe.
Uh-oh.
Interesting. Based on that, I think that I'm concluding that maybe these little guys are getting into these places through the drains, maybe. Thoughts? I'm back at the table now with everybody and not telling this to myself. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Monologue, inner monologue.
Because I saw when I was back scoping around, I saw that there was a little in the sink, and that makes me think that that could be where these little creatures are getting in. What do we think?
All I'm thinking is we're not doing a sewer trek, are we?
No.
I don't really want to do a sewer trek.
No, maybe a sewer adjacent. But I don't like. I mean,
I'm not against it. I would rather not, but
Same. From everything that I have read and all of the folk tales and the stories, is there anything that Maya would have read about that is similar to this?
Yeah, and I would
That's a good question.
I'd like to do a maybe two heads are better than one. Trying to like figure out like what we're
you're trying to
with.
both sort of rack your brains on this. So yeah, do you want to do another glimpse of truth? Because there's like, what sort of creature is it? Might be a good question here. And then if Connor is kind of helping out.
Yeah, I'll roll for my I roll on that separate chart, right? That tells me like how I help.
Yeah, so yeah, you need to know what your relationship with Maya is.
Oh, my relationship with Maya is cooperative.
Like, mine isn't.
How nice.
It's fine.
But yours friends. To me is fine, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how Anya. How did you do? Yeah,
I just rolled 2 6s.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, okay.
Excellent. On 12 plus, ask the GM.
It's literally just a 12.
That
any
is
question not on the list. So you can just ask anything you like. But I would like to hear how Connor. I mean, obviously it's not really effective. But
yeah. So
you wanted to roll it. So
the way Connor helps is that Connor is like, okay, remember that old book that we found in the library, the one that I told you that half of it was bupkis and half of it was true. Okay, so let's narrow things down. These creatures consume oil. They could be created by like some sort of well, like kelpies. Did you read the kelpie book? And then
yes, but that doesn't.
No, because like kelpies create an oil sheen on their back. So while it might not be a kelpie, it might be something related to a kelpie. Because what happens is remember, when someone gets on and it's oil, remember, I mean, it's also other trash, but and then he's just sort of like throwing out ideas.
Throwing out these facts.
Like,
so
and
tell
that's
us
how you
did.
Yeah, and
to see how distracting / helpful this is.
I rolled a 5. It's not like
with plus mental as well.
Yeah, I got a mental of 0.
Ooh, oh dear. Okay, so on a 6 or below, mark experience. However, and Maya does get one in the one power point anyway. But however, cross that off because your target loses 1 from their power pool. And worse, your relationship breaks.
No!
What does that mean? So what that means is when you have a broken relationship, mechanically that means you get -1, both of you get -1 persona when around the other while it's broken, and you get -2 to emotional rolls with that person. And it just means in roleplay terms, you've had a bit of falling out here. So I think this advice from Connor is not helpful, Maya. It's distracting, if anything. And in fact, you come to the realization on that 12, you realize you didn't need to be looking in the folk books at all. It's not something you read in one of those. It's from somewhere else. And so actually, Connor's just being kind of distracting right now. So I'd like to hear how you two sort of like talk about this before I give you the answer to your question, which you're allowed to ask
Yeah.
any question. Which is
Yeah.
So, Connor, I know that you're trying to be helpful right now, but really there are too many things going on in my head, and I can't just focus on what is happening here. And so, can you please just give me a moment? Just give me a
Oh.
moment, okay?
Oh. I was just
No,
trying
no.
to
I know you're
support
trying
him.
to be helpful. I know you're trying to be helpful, but right now it's a little bit too much and it's overwhelming for me, okay? Just give me a second.
Right.
And
the
so,
relationship a little frosty.
yes.
And yeah, it'll take some time to heal. So you'll need to role play at some point, kind of bring them back together, but you have to decide what it is it'll take. So in the
One of my
meantime,
favorite things. Yes.
so on a 12 plus, ask the GM any question not on the list.
Oh my goodness. So here's the thing. My brain is going, maybe Will got into something, being like, we need to clean up the oceans, we need to save the turtles and all of that, and maybe got in over his head or didn't know the right words to use or whatever for a spell or something. So my question is are these associated with that organization? Because that's the way my brain is going.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. Okay, so first of all, with the Save the Sea Life Centre, you don't think that there is you don't think that there is a direct link. However, I think the way you kind of find this is you're kind of like pacing around trying to think of these answers, and you're like, oh, which book would it be? Which book would it be? And your eyes kind of alight on the Cozy Cottage notice board, which has various local things, and you can see a petition from the Save the Ocean group. Which is petitioning for an audit of the local water treatment centre, which they're saying about how it's one of many water treatment centres in the UK that is discharging its waters when there's a storm at much higher levels than it should be, and it needs to be audited, claims the Sea Life Centre, because it's putting pollution in the river. And you do see again the Sea Life Centre being sponsored by Hanover Corporation, which is Will mentioned was his mum's corporation was like sponsoring them, and so this printing of this flyer it says like sponsored by Hanover Corporation as well. So that's how Will seems to be connected to this. But sort of glancing through this, your brain pings, instead of these folklore books that Connor is whittering on about, you're like, wait, I read an article recently about this thing called fatbergs, which is when like grease and oil kind of collects along with rubbish in pipes. And kind of like grows and gets stuck.
Yeah.
And the more fat and things come, the more kind of goes into it. And when you think of that, you're like, those kind of mini blobs kind of look a little bit like a tiny mini fatberg.
Okay.
So yeah, that is lots of info on that 12 plus.
Yeah.
But, and Sadie is ever the skeptic, is like, but that doesn't make sense because the fat and oil can't come to life. It's just fat and oil. That is illogical.
Sadie, we're mermaids. I whisper this to her. We're mermaids. Yeah.
Okay,
Anything
I understand that,
can
but
happen.
it doesn't mean
And I
anything
keep eating my ice
goes.
cream.
I
Keep eating my
mean,
ice cream.
It
Mad-
kind of does.
mad scientist? Maybe.
Have you guys ever wondered why we're mermaids? Like, what kind of higher power or lower power gave us these powers? Like, it's kind of hard to pinpoint, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's just we all have different stories.
But
Like
still,
I know
yeah.
for sure why I am, but I can't speak for everyone else.
That's true. So we can't really base it on anything, right?
Oh, maybe oh gosh, what was the name of our friend at the castle?
Oh yeah.
Timothy.
Timothy.
Maybe Timothy would know.
Maybe
We haven't
Timothy
seen him
knows
in
something.
ages, though.
I think it would be a good idea to ask Timothy, because then we can fact check ourselves.
Yes,
Mhm.
maybe Timothy might know something about the Hanover
Yes.
Corporation or spontaneous things coming to life because Sadie
Yeah.
has a point. Things don't just come to life. There's usually some source.
There has to be an explanation.
Yes.
And
Okay.
the other person that might know something might be Will, right? Because it sounds like his mom is involved. His mom is sponsoring. Can we repeat what was said?
Maybe.
I don't remember.
Will doesn't seem like he knows anything, but okay, I'll bite. Let's go
I
ask
mean,
what
we
we
Yeah.
do.
seem like we wouldn't know anything. We're teenagers, but still, like, he could know something.
It's
You
possible.
never know.
If you wanted to talk to Timothy, your magical
Mhm.
friend, Timothy could have a kitty cam on his collar that you could like dial into, so you don't have to go all the way back and
100%.
forth.
100%. Yes.
He has a tiny little GoPro.
Let's see. Let's see what
So
Timothy is up to.
wonderful.
Yeah,
What
The
we- what we're
waterproof
talking about is
GoPro.
yeah.
With the
is,
case, it's just
Uh,
strapped to him.
Are
we
there
go to
like
Hearts.
cute
Sorry.
are there cute little benches on the outside of Rosie's
Yes, of
cozy
course. Wrought
cottage
iron,
that we
painted
that
white. Yeah.
yeah, that way we could go outside and enjoy the day and then do our little, GoPro
Yeah.
phone meeting separate from all the normies.
Yeah. Great
Yes.
idea. Okay, so you all finish, stack up your cake plates and go outside to crowd in on this little bench.
I bring a
Yes.
little hot chocolate outside.
Yeah. I think
Yes.
you've got like you know how you can get those like cat cameras that like monitor your cats when you're away. I feel like it's that, but like attached to his little collar.
I
Aw.
believe you that that's a thing.
It is.
just
It is.
does
My cousin
surprise
has one.
me.
It's a thing.
What if we have
Um,
like a little app on the phone that's like a little
Yeah.
gif
Yeah, that's what I
of
was thinking.
Timothy and we just click on it and then it's just a little
Yeah. So you beep 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 beep, and after a moment, a very close up of a little cat face, a little white muzzle, ginger cheeks, comes in, and after a moment you hear, "Hello, is this thing on? Hello?
It's on Timothy. It's on.
It's on
Oh.
Timothy. Hi.
Oh, hello, Connor.
Hello.
Oh, hang on one
Hello.
moment," and it goes meow meow meow, a little jingle of a bell, and the collar like comes off and lands on the floor, and he's like scooting it with his paws to kind of prop it up against the castle wall so that he can be seen. He's like, "Oh, hello there," and he's like sits with the little white sock paws and big fat ginger body. And for the audience, this is the our character's mystical creature who is their strange friend who happens to be an ancient magical cat slash maybe also a sea creature. But for now, a big ginger cat.
Giant fat ginger cat. Absolutely
And he
adorable.
lays down so you can see his fluffy tummy, and he's like,
Yay!
"You cold?"
I want
Yes. Timothy, I'm sorry I'm not there to give you tummy rubs and fish. But we are in a kind of serious situation.
Oh no.
There are blobs of oil that are sentient, that are absorbing rubbish and oil, but they're stealing it from they stole it from the lovely fish and chips cart. They're stealing it from a local cafes, but they're getting very large and they can absorb one another.
And they're alive, Timothy. They're alive.
And it
Mhm.
does
This
not
sounds
make
dreadful.
sense at all.
And they
It
don't
sounds very
understand
bad.
us. We can't talk to them. So on the one hand, it's cleaning up of the rubbish. We think maybe the Hanover Corporation might be behind it. Maybe they're trying to clean things up and it's backfiring because they're turning into bigger and bigger creatures. They haven't attacked anyone yet, but I'm very, very concerned because I got quite hangry because of this oil that was stolen. And I can't imagine like how many small businesses are having a hard time because
Yes.
well-meaning oil bulbs trying to clean the ocean are stealing oil from them.
Mm-hmm.
Strange. So yeah, you can ask was possession, the team can consult their mystical creature. I'm just reading this about the current situation. So basically, one of you can roll, and it's just pure luck. Just roll 2d6, and we'll see if they know what's going on. So I'd suggest either Sadie or Connor rolls, as you've kind of been talking.
All
Yeah,
right,
Connor, do
I
you-
will roll. I'm
Connor-
having a good time.
roll.
Okay, we've got the blue die and the rainbow die. Come on.
Double sixes, double sixes.
5 and a 4, a 9.
Hey.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, they aren't sure what's happening, but they have your backs. You gain +1 on your next roll based on their encouragement. So he like places his head on his paws and he's like, I can't say this is anything like anything I've heard of before, but it sounds very bad. But I'm sure you can all handle it. You're all very grown up now. I've seen you practicing with all your skills, and I'm sure you can handle it. It's going to be just fine. But also, if you could sort it quickly, because I like my sardines in oil rather than tomato sauce. So, chop chop.
Yes.
Thanks, Timothy. We'll bring you some
You're
kippers.
welcome. Thank you. And he
Yeah.
places a little paw on the screen. He's like, meow. And turns it off.
Well, I will say this. While we didn't learn anything new, I do feel quite better about the situation.
Are you sure about that? It doesn't feel particularly helpful to me.
You're in a mood today. What is wrong? I was just trying to help earlier.
Yes, but sometimes being overly helpful is a little bit unhelpful.
Well, you're being very unhelpful right now.
And both of you fighting is also very unhelpful. So
Guys. It's okay. It's okay. Take deep breath in and out. Okay. Next step. What are we doing?
Going to investigate this corporation?
Yes, we
Okay.
should.
Will?
That's the plan. That's something
Yeah.
we can do.
Philippa, is there a headquarters of this corporation?
In our
of
town?
the Hanover, yes. They are kind of on the opposite side of the castle, on the far side of the bay. And yeah, I think you probably heard of them. They make like cosmetics and various things like that. They've got like a headquarters. Yeah.
So Maeve asks everyone, so do we need anything else from Rosie's Cozy Cottage Cafe? Oh, that's a mouthful. They really need to.
They need to
fix that.
rebrand, right?
We'll just
I mean,
call
other
it
than
Rosie's.
telling them.
We could just call it
Yeah.
Rosie's.
Rosie's, yeah.
Rosie's, right.
As you're sitting on the bench discussing this, you do hear a "Oh heavens!" and a crash of crockery as the old lady inside gives a bit of a shout, and then a "Ow!"
I like move. I get up
Yeah.
and head immediately. Like
Mhm.
I just follow
Just-
them.
Same with Sadie.
I'm not
Yeah.
really bothered.
Yeah.
But,
and you kind
Yeah.
of push past the counter, and you see in the back of the kitchen is the old lady who was like serving at the middle-aged lady who's serving at the counter, and she has one of these blobby grease blobs, and it's like suckered onto her leg, and is like, and it's kind of, and she's like trying to get it off, and you can see there's kind of like some welts forming like around her leg as it's trying to like onto her. And you can see she's dropped loads of the cakes on the floor. It's all like slippery. And you see a bottle of oil-based moisturizer thrown to the side.
Oh,
Are there like
bad
spatulas,
news.
like the scraper spatulas? Can I kind of try to spatula it off of her?
Sure, yeah. This sounds
Yeah,
like maybe I could protect someone
Yeah.
to try and get this thing off of her.
Immediately jump in for that.
And I would say this one is a little bigger than the other ones, it seems like. More like the one that was kind of like, looks like the one actually that was outside that had joined together.
Oh no.
But there's only just one in there right now, right?
Just one big one, yeah.
Yeah.
I got double sixes again. I'm going to take a picture of this because I really did, which means that I have an 11 because I have a -1 on persona.
Okay, so on protection one, 10 plus, choose 2 of those options from the list.
Okay.
Right.
So I am going to deal damage equal to my physical, which is 1, and I'm going to put the attacker in a bad position, giving an ally +1 forward against the attack.
Cool.
And so
So
I would say
you kind of-
Maeve, probably.
Yeah.
Cool. You sort of like spatula it off and sort of like with the spatula
Yeah.
towards. Yeah, Maeve. It kind of whizzes towards you across this butter icing covered floor.
Can I grab like a bowl or something and try to like trap
Ooh,
it?
Yeah. I think maybe this would be thwart peril. Doing
Thwart
something
peril.
physical to try and like stop it from because it's kind of opened its mouth to try and like glom onto you now.
So I would just grab quickly a plastic bucket for stuff. I also have float like a butterfly, which means +1 to
Ooh,
thwart
sweet.
perils.
And you get
Perfect.
another
So it's with-
+1 from me.
So 8, 9, 10.
Okay, and the 10, you do what you set out to do. So yeah, you get this big cooking bowl and manage to get it on top, and you can hear like a
Yeah.
kind of like stick to the side.
I'm gonna go over and kind of navigate past all of the cake and help the old lady up and say, we're going to call animal control to deal with that strange looking animal. Let me get you
I haven't seen anything like it.
I know it's strange. It's fine. Oh, we're gonna go Sadie, call where's the telly? Or where's the phone?
I think
How's
that
that?
I saw one. I have one in my pocket.
Oh
I
no,
have
we
cell
have
phone.
cell phones, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we
I
should
was like,
call the
where's
police.
the TV? What?
No, we're gonna call animal control. It's an animal. We don't want to wait. We don't want to bother the police with a wild animal.
also,
Let me get you
The
seated. Let
police
me get you
takes
some
forever
tea.
to come here.
And I'm
I
trying
would
to calm her
suggest-
down.
Yeah,
Yes, with
I
my
think you should do some convincing of
convincing.
someone.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay, so that is with
Oof.
emotional,
Emotional. Okay.
which luckily is not against Maya, so
Yeah.
it's normal for this.
8.
8. Okay,
I
so
rolled
for
a
a
5
normal
and a
person,
1, and I've got.
they'll do it,
Plus-
but only if you can reassure them through action or protection. Protecting them somehow. So she says like, yes, okay, animal control, that's a good idea. Okay, yes, and she gives her phone towards Sadie, and it's like, you can call them on my phone, and I can speak to them if needed, but I just have a sit down. And she sits within earshot to make sure you call. Basically, is
Yeah.
the result of that 8.
Yeah.
Oh, we do not want.
Meanwhile,
animal
this thing is still
control
going
to show up.
as Maeve is holding it on the floor, and it's going.
You know, better animal control than a police officer. That's all I gotta say.
So true.
Yeah.
So I guess we could just. I guess
mean,
I'll
just
just
call
call
anyone.
animal control.
I'm like
And then
texting.
Maeve
I'm
whispers.
texting.
Yes,
Oh,
Maeve.
yeah, go ahead.
Yes, just don't just call my dad or something. Just tell him we're having a great time
Genius.
or whatever.
Okay. Calls. I'm gonna call. What is his name? Gareth.
Gareth. Right, Gaz's phone.
Hi. Animal control.
No, this is Gareth.
I need you to play along. Gareth.
Oh, okay. Yes, animal control.
Animal control.
And yeah,
I'm at Rosie's, and there's some kind of animal. Can you come help us out? But not actually.
I think you should do a keep your wits about you to try and like make it like not freak out and like properly kind of like do it in a way, because persona, it uses persona, which is like your sort of how like confident you are in it. So
Okay.
can you like
I
manage this?
I have +1 to my next roll and +1 to persona, so I got that just to start.
So +2.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna be like, you got this, as I'm distracting the old lady with tea and like, you know.
So I got a 5 with plus my my modifier with my modifier. So
yeah. Oh dear.
Ooh, gosh, I don't think
mark some
teamwork will help with this one.
I get some experience.
Yeah, you get an experience every failed roll.
Yeah, baby.
However, yeah, the old lady, she pushes Connor away a little bit and is like, oh, I'll do it, and takes her phone back off and starts like dialing the correct number. And you hear her start going, yes, hello, yes, we've got some sort of, I don't know, badger here that we need taken care of. Can you come immediately, please? Yes, okay, thank you. Okay, they'll be here in 10 minutes.
Dogs don't look
That's great.
anything like a badger.
That's great. No. It's
Or a
fine.
hedgehog,
How
who
about
knows?
what's your name? Sorry. I
My
haven't
name is Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Oh,
Maybe you can wait outside for them to come in, make sure that they do, and we'll make sure that this thing stays here for them to.
You didn't even want to call animal control. I'm not letting this thing out of my sight.
Sorry, how do you know we didn't call animal control?
Because this young lady here clearly did not.
I thought it was the right number. I'm an exchange student. I'm sorry.
Right.
yeah,
well,
she doesn't really
you're
understand.
either lying or incompetent. So,
I'm very competent. Thank you very much.
but you, young lady, and she points at Maeve. You seem to be doing a good job at sitting on whatever that thing is in the bowl. So you keep parking your bottom right there. That's a good job. And I shall
And
observe.
as she says that, can I do a bellowing roar? I'm just gonna get really
Ooh.
annoyed
is that
at
your
her.
mystical connection?
Oh yeah, it is.
You're
Okay, I
in
can't
your
do it.
Yeah.
default.
I can't do it.
Sorry.
Okay.
Unless you want to get wet.
No.
But
It's
No,
Feels like an inconvenient time for that.
Yeah.
I'm usually really charming. I just didn't roll very well. I
Yeah. Maeve is just telling someone to you just need to get her out.
You
of
can
here. We
also,
just need to-
as you're sitting on it, it sort of stopped bumping up and down trying to escape and is now going as it's licking up some of the spilled moisturizer on the floor.
Is there like a very large rock that we can just put on this thing and leave?
I mean, you could. There can be a large rock, but what I will say is animal control are on the way and they will lift it up.
Oh, that's bad.
Have a look.
Yeah.
You're welcome to do that, but that's the consequence would be that.
Okay.
So I texted
Is there anything we can put it
something-
in?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I
go ahead.
texted something to Maeve earlier if you would like to get it. What I texted
Uh-huh.
was what I was trying to do was while she's distracted, let it go free and escape.
Oh.
That's what I texted. Whether you do that or not is okay. Connor is just kind of looking like nervously around because he doesn't want to say anything because he tried to be charming and it just didn't work. And he's just sort of looking at Maeve nervously.
Yeah. So I'm looking at my phone.
And
But what if it attacks? What if it attacks someone else?
You can keep texting this as you want.
Yeah.
The lady's just sort of like waiting.
It's in the.
is there a
Is it in the
train
group
nearby?
text?
Yes,
It's in the
we're gonna
group.
do it in the
It's in
group.
the
Okay,
group.
I'm gonna say I'm
You
gonna
kids and your phones these days, she says.
It's such a funny clip. Look at this shit.
Is there any drains near? Actually, can I do like a I
You
was
can
gonna say
see the
investigation.
oil train clearly that had come out of the sink where it came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we move it to the
I'm
sink?
gonna
Move it-
text in the group chat. I'm gonna say maybe we can find something to put underneath it, like sort of like how you trap mice, like how you slide something under it and then you carry it and then stuff it down the drain, perhaps, and then put something over the drain so it doesn't come out. Thoughts on that?
Or we could just take it and run. This old lady isn't gonna. She's not gonna stop us.
Pretend like it's bumping around and get kicked off of it.
Yeah. Okay. Maeve kind of just starts getting really like vigorous.
Are you okay? And I'm gonna go over and like
Yeah.
touch it, and then I'm gonna start mimicking that the thing is too strong.
Whoa.
Oh, just wait.
I think
help,
it's getting
it's
loose.
getting
Oh,
out,
don't
and
let
then,
it out.
and then just boom, and then what I would hoping, Maeve, is that let's lift the bowl, scoop it, and then toss it towards the sink, in wacky shenanigans. There's I don't know,
Okay,
choke
so
bow
Maeve
style
doesn't.
music.
Maeve doesn't know that that's what you're gonna do, but she's just gonna go with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
Okay.
whisper, and I'd be like, just like in the improv class we took during show choir.
Yes, and yes, and
Yes, and yes, and then we're just like,
Okay.
I love
You
the
wanna-
process of figuring out what to do with that.
Yeah.
We're just texting.
It's so funny.
Sending a little gif.
It really feels like, oh, we can do this together kind of thing, because it's a teamwork
It does,
action.
definitely.
yes,
Nick.
it does. Well,
I think
yeah, that's what I was
one of
going
you
for.
one of you two should. Again, I always like, I'm stuck between keep your wits about you and thought peril with these sorts of ones, because it feels like both you've got to keep calm to do it, but also physical. But I think if you're sort of tossing and doing physical stuff, I think there should be thought peril. So I think
Okay.
Connor should do
I
the
will
thought
do that.
peril, but
Oh,
if
okay.
oh yeah, actually, yeah, May's kind of the one sitting on top and is doing most of the moving. So May do thought
Yeah.
peril, and then if Connor you'd like to help, you could also roll.
Yeah.
Maybe I've got your back, or if you want to do it more mental, like
Yeah,
you're
I've got.
working out the
Oh yeah. Hold on. I've got your
The
back, and then what's the
trajectory.
other option? The other option is.
Okay, so
2 heads are better
two
than
heads are
one,
better than
or
one.
you can do this. It's
Two
an
heads are
option.
better than one. I think this feels like a you can do this, like,
Yeah,
because
like you're mostly just sort of encouraging, like, go for it.
yeah, I'm encouraging and just sort of like, because it's
Yeah.
really Maeve's show, but I'm here to like help and make
Yeah.
this a success. So I'm gonna
Yes.
roll for we're in this together. Oh God.
Yeah, and check what your relationship is. Meanwhile,
Oh, yes.
Maeve roll that thought
Cooperative.
peril with
yeah, I rolled
physical.
it, and if you see my
Oh, it's
face,
competitive.
it's
Okay.
not good.
Oh no.
Okay.
Let's wait
I
on
got-
the result.
I have competitive.
Okay.
I got an 8.
Okay. So you do get. So Maeve's going to get a +1 to the roll. Does that help though?
It's a 5. Like all total, it's a 5.
Oh, no.
no.
I got a
That's not
4.
good.
It's a +1. It's a 5.
But you get some XP.
Shenanigans.
So
Okay.
get some XP anyway, so that's nice. Okay, so yeah, you definitely fail to do this. However, Con, you're very encouraging about this, despite it. I feel like the little tiny the little blob just goes and it's really slippery.
Yeah.
So you just are like and it just lands right in front of you. But you do get 1 PowerPoint in your PowerPoint thing, and on a did you say it was a competitive relationship or a cooperative?
We have a
relationship?
competitive relationship. I want to sing as good as Maeve is at fighting.
So give your target +1 to the next roll, but you put yourself in danger. So the little the greasy blob goes squiggles around, sees you, Connor, being like yeah, and it's gonna go and bites onto your leg for 1 harm.
Ugh.
No.
And it's going to be like, and is attached to you. And then you hear the old lady go, great heavens, he let it out. That doesn't look like a badger.
No, it's
said that
much
it
more
did.
dangerous. It's much more dangerous than that. Maybe you should get out, Charlotte. You should definitely get out.
She draws.
Can I convince?
It's not a no. She's gonna get out, but she's like,
Okay.
oh yes, and she backs out. She doesn't have a door between the two. She just has like one of those bead curtains, and she's like, oh, and the bees will go, oh, and she's like, everybody out! There's something in the kitchen, and starts herding all the customers out.
So I have a question in relation to this thing on his leg. So in this kitchen, do they have like there are those giant mesh covers for like catching the
like
grease,
cakes.
basically? Yeah. Well, no, for like if you're frying something, you can put it over top and it's less likely to go everywhere.
Yeah.
Would there be one of those hanging up here? And can I use it
'Cause
to just
do a
whack
breakfast.
the thing?
Oh!
Yes, yeah, go for it. Do you want to? You trying to do a bit of damage? Which would be clutch?
I would like to
Or protect.
squish it and get it. Like, I know that my relationship with Connor is not great right now. However, I don't want it to eat him.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe protect someone.
Yeah.
Just to remind you, because your relationship is broken, you do get
Yes.
-1 to persona at the moment.
That's great. That means I have a -2.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's
Swing
fine.
the mesh.
This is gonna go well. 5. Because I got a 7 -2. So
Okay.
that's great.
Mark some experience.
All right.
Cool.
Okay. The
That's my first failed
I
roll,
think
though.
XP. I think because it fails, you slice off, like, the mesh just kind of like squidges some of the little grease ball into it, creating a new little ball, which is now in it and is at you, and it goes and like gloms onto your hand.
I'm just gonna
For
shake it
1
off
harm.
into the
It's going
sink.
for 1 harm to you as well.
I know this is really dangerous, but is the sink like one of those things that you can like take off and like aim like a hose thing?
Oh, like the long
Like
hose.
those, yeah,
Oh,
those
no.
things.
Yeah,
Since
I think
it's a
they've got one of those.
kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, everyone's out
She's
of
gone.
the cafe.
She's gone, right?
We're not underwater.
I know. I feel like Maeve's like mind. She wouldn't have thought of the transformation. She would have just taken it and tried to spray it out at the hand,
Oh,
at where the blobs are.
Oh, ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. Ooh.
Interesting.
Well,
okay.
The only thought was like oil and water, and I was just like,
Oh yeah,
no,
that is
I
really
think this is
smart.
great. I'm just
100%.
again, I'm just deciding between the two. I think this would be thwart peril, where a 7 to 9, the worst outcome is obviously Maya transforms and gets wet.
yeah, for sure.
But on a 10 plus,
so
you
I
manage
have,
to do it in a way that it pushes it away.
okay, and I have a +1 to thwart peril. Okay, that's a 10, 11. It's an 11.
Yeah.
You do
Yes.
it.
I really aim it.
Maya's
I
like,
really aim it.
and on the final, it kind of comes loose, and you're able to be like with the water, and it goes blop, and it lands perfectly in the plug hole and goes down the drain away. So you've only got one to deal with now, which is still attached to Connor's leg, but looks a bit smaller
now.
Yeah, it's smaller now. Sadie, what's Sadie up to in all of this?
Yeah, I was just thinking that I think Sadie, since Sadie and Connor are besties, I think that Sadie would also very much like to like perhaps destroy this thing that's on his leg. Like, I think that's the first gut instinct. Yeah, and I would do it rolling pin. Nice heavy wooden rolling pin and just like
Okay. Sounds like a clash.
Yeah, I think it does too, even though I have 0 physical.
Okay,
but
fight.
we'll see.
Okay.
I have wait, that's an 11.
Oh,
Nice.
sweet. Okay. On a 10 plus, choose so you're going to deal harm to each other, and you can choose 1 extra effect from that list.
Okay. Ooh, force them where you want. I would force it into the drain.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'm imagining, like, again, in sync with Connor, like, you can like stick your leg out and be like, and yeah, it goes pew, and you see it sort of disintegrating into little globules, and it kind of goes into the sink, where it has kind of like evaporated into little globules, which then go and trickle down the drain. But you seem to have destroyed it.
Interesting.
I turn on the tap, like, so that it rushes down the sink.
So based on the data I've collected from hitting this thing, it looks like perhaps just hitting them destroys them, but I don't know if it's a permanent solution to the problem, but just something to consider.
It's good to know.
All right.
You just don't want them to multiply, right?
I think we need a little bit of a rest. Get out of here. Maybe go to the castle. Maybe go for a swim.
We need to not be here when animal control arrives.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm gonna first
excellent.
open the back door. Like, is there a back door,
Let's go.
Philippa?
Yeah.
Okay, going through the
I
back
grabbed some
door and
scones
getting out of
along the
there.
way. I
And
just grabbed
Sadie
some.
immediately speeds to the door because she does not want to be caught. She's so afraid of getting in trouble.
Oh.
I'm not, so I just, grab some stuff as I leave.
Yeah, everyone else is like,
My
they've all
God.
clustered out the front, and they're like, you mustn't go in. So you're just like, ha, it's gone. And yeah, there's a little back door that leads to a little like sort of back street for all the businesses.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you kind of run out into the back, you do see some more of the businesses also, like some of the drains come out the back as well, and you can see like the bubbling of the water of where you'd flushed it down. You can see in the drain, if you poke your head, and you can see that now a very tiny little fat grease blob being like up at you from the drain. But you also see, like, going down, you see some signs for other businesses. There's like carpenters and so on. And you see at the end of the lane there is a sign to turn into the water treatment centre.
Ooh.
Well,
I think you muted again, Casa.
That might be something Maeve says.
I agree with Maeve. I think we should definitely go
Mhm.
there.
All right. then.
I agree.
And
Just-
yeah, that seems like maybe a good place to bring
But for another day, you know.
so to a close, and we'll
Another day.
investigate then. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll pick back up
Yeah.
again in the same sort of spot where you go and investigate, and maybe have a little rest and things. So when we get to an end of an episode of Glitter Hearts, we do a
Oh.
few little things. So you've been earning
Ooh.
XP from getting under sixes, but you also can earn some XP from some of these end of session questions. So we're going to just go through those. So at the end
Okay.
of the session, if any relationships are broken, discuss if the two characters repaired their relationship during the session. If they didn't, or felt during the session, or felt events in the session weren't enough to repair the relationship, they can decide to repair their relationship now if it makes story sense to do so. Otherwise, they can keep it as broken for now. Or
I
you can
think it
choose
makes
to play
sense
out a
to
quick
stay
scene.
broken for now.
For now,
Yeah.
I think
Let's
that
stay
makes
broken
sense.
for now, but you know, I don't know if we're doing
Mhm.
stars and wishes, but I will say a wish would definitely be next session for us.
Mhm.
Maybe during the
Yeah,
walk
definitely.
to have a heart to
Yes.
heart.
Sounds
That's the
good.
only thing I request. If we don't fix it now, I want to fix it next episode.
Yeah, we do need to fix it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. I think by
that at
next
the
session we'll
moment,
be able to. It's a bit
yeah.
fresh at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I ask you some of these extra questions. If the group answers yes to 2 questions, everyone gets 1 XP, and if you answer yes to 3 or more, then you will get 2 XP. So this is
Ooh.
your interpretation
This
of
is
this. So
cool.
did we learn something new and important about the larger threat to the world?
I'd
Yeah.
say yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say yes.
Yeah.
Learned
People
all more
doing
threats, yes,
bad
of some sorts.
by trying to do good. I
Yeah.
guess.
Bad. Yeah. I'm 100% Maeve. I'm with you on that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
someone's misguided and we need to fix it.
Something's going on.
Mhm.
Did we save someone from the machinations of the evil forces at play?
I mean, technically,
we
yeah.
saved
Charlotte?
Save the old lady.
Charlotte.
The old lady,
Yeah,
Charlotte.
You saved Charlotte.
You know.
Did we learn something new and important about one of the magical heroes? I mean, we
So
learned a
one
lot
of
about you.
us.
It's the
Yeah,
first
it's the
session.
first episode.
I have a hunger problem.
Like,
I have like
You
a
get super
serious
angry.
I have a serious hunger problem. I mean, it took
Yeah.
a biffed
I
roll
think
for
we
me
all
to find
learned-
that out, but you all learned
We
very
learned something,
quickly.
yeah.
Don't let Connor
Okay.
go
We have
past
hungry.
noon without a sandwich. It's not
Did we
good.
learn something new and important about the source of the hero's powers?
No.
No.
I'd say
Um,
no on this one.
We
Yeah,
we
no.
looked at
Well,
it though. We were thinking about
there
it.
was a touch, and I think the closest we got was Connor saying, "Well, I know where I come from, but I can't speak for everybody else." But we didn't really
Yeah.
go deep into what Connor knows. He didn't say anything, so I guess no.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
Maybe not
yeah.
yet.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, and finally, did we develop new friendships or deepen existing ones?
I mean, I helped save Connor.
Yeah. And
Yes, that's true.
I also think
Mhm.
that Maeve and Connor are on their way to becoming friends. Like really,
I think
really
so.
friends.
Yeah.
And I think after we reconcile, we
Yeah.
might be better.
Yeah.
I don't
Might
know.
be
Maybe
stronger.
maybe we learned things about each other that we didn't know were annoying. Sometimes finding out your
Mhm.
friend's bad
That's true.
habits is like the only way that you can move past them.
Mhm.
I don't mean to get all sentimental, but like
Oh no, and it's
I
also
That's
love
what
the
this move
idea.
does.
Yeah, No, but it's also the idea of not everyone's brains works the same way. And so what
Right.
makes sense to Connor doesn't necessarily work for Maya. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I think that sounds good. And also, you all enjoyed your time at the pier as friends.
Yes.
Okay, so you got 4 there, which means
Mhm.
everyone gets 2 XP.
Yay!
Gonna be able to start spending some of that soon, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Okay,
total
so
of
that is the
5.
little questions there. So that is the end of our little session, but we're just gonna finish up by, firstly, I'm just gonna ask everyone to go around and again tell us who you are, where we can find you on the internet, and tell me 1 or 2 short little projects that you want to rep at the moment. And then I'll finish up by telling everyone a little bit more about some Girls from These Worlds news as well. So I'll go in the same order. So I believe that was Caroline first. So Caroline, tell us who you are, where we can find you, and 1 or 2 things that you're up to.
Sure. My name again is Caroline Orejuela. You can find all of my social media at my website, which is www.caroline.com. I know my last name is a little hard to spell. So there it is for you. 2 projects. The first one that I just got to announce recently, which is super exciting, is that Marvel is coming out with a new app called Marvel Move, and I am fortunate enough to be voicing one of the lead characters. I cannot yet tell you who I am playing, but I am so excited to be able to tell you. But yeah, so you can actually pre-order that. The link is in my Instagram if you want to check that out. The other thing is I host 2 different podcasts. One is Alter Hope Girls, a Danganronpa podcast, and one is It's Locked podcast about the Nancy Drew game. So podcasts. Woohoo!
Oh, cool. I can't remember who was next in my order, so I'll go next who's on my screen now, which is Hector.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, I am Hector Reyes. You can find me in most places, Twitter and Instagram, under Keiichi Okami. And 2 projects. One is every Thursday, is Ether Day over on Horde of Tales, where we are playing Ether. It's a dark fantasy, kind of underworldy, Hollow Knight inspired setting, where we are going to the top of a mountain to go under the light of the sun and restore the heart of a mountainous fantasy world. And it's a lot of fun. And it's Thursday mornings, 11 o'clock Western time, 11 o'clock Pacific time. Translate that however you will. And Horde of Tales is an amazing channel, and I'm happy to be working with them. And my other project is actually this. I'm going to be here every Monday with you amazing folks. So Mermaid Mondays, Ether Thursdays for the rest of May for Hector.
Yeah, MER-MAY Monday. Hashtag
MER-MAY.
MER-MAY.
Mermaid
We'll work on the
Monday.
hashtag. Who's next? Cass, I've got you next on my screen. If you want to tell us who you are, where you are, all that jazz.
Yep. I'm Casa. Twitter is wilding _ with a Y, because it's fantasy. Everything is
Yeah.
a Y.
Yeah.
Other than this, I have a ongoing, but it's almost ending, TTRPG for Impossible Landscapes. It's like a fantasy, but dark, just 80s, 70s, 80s show. It's like discovery, investigating noir type stuff, where we're a supernatural group that right now we're investigating this building that has 3 floors, but when you go in there are more floors, and it's like, well, why is that happening? Anyway, I'm playing a super secret spy that stirs shit up, and that's really fun. Everyone else is in like the government or some sort, and and that's it. So that's on Thursdays. at some time. If you want to know what time, follow me on Twitter or follow Lost Caravan, which is where that's playing.
Lost Caravan,
all the
yes.
all the information gets there eventually, but it's rolling a
Yes.
bit slow in my head right now because I'm still reeling from Glitter Hearts. But yes, that's
Okay, and Anya, tell us about you.
Yeah.
Where can we find you?
Hello. I'm here. You can find me everywhere at Lalion Cosplay. Let's see, things to talk about. I am writing, inspired by my excitement for this, I'm writing a solo journaling TTRPG where you are a mermaid going on an adventure, and it uses the major arcana of a tarot deck. So, yeah. So
I'm so excited to read that.
I just got some really great feedback from it, so I'm going to be revamping some things, and Caroline, I will send it to you. And, I should have that up within the week, really. And then also I'm going to be working on my Allura Vysoren cosplay on stream tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central European Standard Time zones, noon Eastern. And so I'm really excited. My sewing machine was out of commission for about a month, and I finally have it back, and I'm finally working on costumes again. So yes, come hang out and chat while I sew. It's a great time. Yay.
Great, amazing. I should probably talk about me for a moment.
Yeah.
I'm Philippa Moore. You can find me everywhere at Mort Philippa. I'm on in most places, so Twitter, on TikTok, where I post about TTRPGs and things. And a little thing I've been working on at the moment is this little mini zine. It's probably backwards, but it says, "Where is Mr. Tibbles? A pocket adventure for your favorite TTRPG." I'm working on making it at the moment. And I might have a few copies with me when I go to UK Games Expo in June, so maybe find me and I'll have a tiny
I want to go. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna
be helping on the Soul Muppet stall, so if you come and say hello, I would like a little scene about Mr. Tibbles. I'll probably be selling them for like, I don't know, a couple of pounds, something like that, just to cover the cost of paper and things. And one more thing about me, hopefully it doesn't clash with what Casa is doing. I am in a bi-weekly show called Random DMs on Thursdays with D8 dungeons, where each week we roll to find out who is going to be DMing the next week. So this coming week Dahi is going to be DMing, but we don't know who will be doing it next time, so that's every fortnight we're playing that, but that's on this Thursday, so it's very chaotic. I would recommend coming along if you want a bit of a laugh.
I like that you get like 2 weeks to prepare.
Yeah, we get a bit more time to plan it.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're running a module which is Lost Minds of Fandoms as the classic starter, so that we have a little bit of structure. But we've already messed around with it with time travel. With magic mushrooms changing our perception of time, so we're now having to go back.
Time is a weird soup. Time is a weird soup.
Time is a very weird
Exactly,
soup.
time is a weird soup. Last but by no means least, just a few little things for our lovely audience to keep their eyes on for Girls Run These Worlds coming up. So as usual, if you feel like you want to tell a story on Girls Run These Worlds, you can send in an application. Make sure you check out the Girls Run These Worlds Twitter page. And similarly, there are some upcoming shows that are being cast for. So let's see.
Regency Remixed closes
Regency
tonight,
Remixed.
I believe.
Oh, Regency
so
Remixed
get on
closes
that
tonight?
with
Okay.
lovely Anne.
Have
a look at those.
Philippa,
sorry,
that.
motherfucking crab truckers. I keep seeing that pop up all over the internet. Maybe I should apply.
It sounds good. I must mention, Inspire Wiles is on every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time or 7 p.m. BST, and it is sponsored by Hatchling DMs, who we love. Richard, great.
Yeah.
And it's a little Arthurian Fae adventure, GM'd by Ivris, another UK-based GM, who I've played lots of games with, and it's great. And anything else coming up? I think those are the big ones coming up. And also there is a call for the some more zines. So if you want to do a bit of writing for girls, write these worlds, check out the zine applications as well. But yeah, I'll just see, are we raiding anybody? I don't think we are. So with that in mind, we will see you next Monday.
Manapod is on, or are they are they ending?
I don't have control of the raid, so I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're not doing a raid today. So I think that is everything. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please join us next week, same time, for more mermaids, where we find out where are these strange little grease balls coming from? Does it have something to do with saving the sea life and the sewers? And we don't know. But yeah, please come back again next week for more mermaids. And until then, we shall say goodbye, good night,
Adieu.
Au revoir.
whatever day.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Bye, bye.